Cheers under you.
Cheers.
Yeah, did you notice
It's nothing like nitrogen-laced beer.
Did you notice last week? Oh man, that chair's wet. Last week it was frozen for the first half hour, eh?
Who? Who's frozen?
What's that?
All right. What?
What?
There we go. Come on, Tebow Vision, catch up.
Yeah, last week my image was frozen for a half hour. You notice that?
Yeah. I find that it's best to get everyone started and then reboot. Well, get Tebow Vision out and then back in, and it seems to work. So far, so good. Cross fingers. I'm going to the truck because I have beer in the truck.
Keeps his beer in the truck. That's fucking.
Yeah, boy. All right, so I'm out.
Damn tootin'. Friends, you're outside, what, in the back?
Yep.
All right.
I don't feel like roasting in the garage. And...
I know.
Say hi to the boys.
Hi. Hi, guys. Hi.
Hello.
All right, I'm going to the truck.
So, is it still stinking hot out, ends, or half decent?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's
Fucking gorgeous.
Wow, it's cooled off, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like 18 degrees now already.
Something like that.
Cool.
Oh. Holy shit, I forgot the iPad. Get the iPad.
Oh.
So, Friday they delivered my new washer, dryer, and stove.
And what? Washer, dryer, and
dryer, and stove.
Stove.
12 stove. Air, no. And yesterday I went to buy yesterday I also went to buy a new fan to put on top of the stove. So I spent the better part of today. I shooted myself once installing the fan.
You serious?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
What? Hey, turn off the breakers, you dumbass.
Yeah, I was trying to be heroic.
Yeah, dumbass.
When it sparked, and then I was like,
doing a little bacon.
Yeah. At least I didn't. Okay, nothing's on fire. I'm not on fire. like almost 10 minutes. Like, yeah, okay. Our washing machine talks to us.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got the Internet of Things. Nice.
No.
Now, Big Brother, and your undies are going to be watching you all the time.
It's an option. You can get an app there to read.
Yeah. It's all an option. Yeah, that's what the last political prisoners in Korea said. Yeah, in North Korea, South Korea.
It's hilarious. We got one of those new induction stoves.
You got a what?
Induction.
Shit, ends. Steve, which of your loudmouth brothers is with us?
Well, Mike is not a loudmouth. He's kind of the quiet type.
No, I was gonna say it must be Paul.
Mike's in Wildwood right now. Or he must be in Wildwood by now. Skylar's in South Carolina. They must have. I think they got one more. I think about 10 hours of traveling to do, a little bit more.
Oh wow!
I saw him on Thursday night.
Why are you allowing them to go spend money in the States?
Seriously.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck what they do, but they decided to go there on vacation. They went to the beach house, and that's it. Doesn't matter. I mean, Nicholas, her husband, his father is a millionaire, so what the fuck do they care? You know, what do you need? 5,000, 10,000? Here, go on vacation.
Steve, it's called patriotism, man.
Yeah.
How's
The
it-
guy's
how's
wife
the
died
meeting?
in November. Guy's wife died in November, and what do you want him to do with his money? Just give it to his only son.
Spend it in Canada. There's a meeting in Toronto.
Spoken like a true Canadian trade, man.
A meeting in Monday, all about that. Spend it in Canada.
Smart.
So now that your machine talks to you, what kind of conversations do you think you're gonna have?
No, it doesn't talk. They play tunes and they're finished.
It mostly listens, right?
But the stove is hilarious, man. I spent like an hour just boiling water just to watch it. I couldn't get over it.
Is it one of these the
What
ones
does it
what the hell do they call them?
Induction.
Induction. Yes,
Induction.
thank you. Oh shit!
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, I guess for you guys, it'd be quite the blessing, right? As soon as you pull the pot off, whoop.
Yeah. No, it takes a bit of time to cool down, but the blessing is this: like Connor wants he wants a snack, so we get the milk, pour it in the pot to heat up for his cereal. My wife turns it on, she walks away. I go, Carmi, don't walk away. It's already boiling. Get the fuck out! It's boiling. Like in 10 seconds, it's boiling.
Very cool.
It's fucking hilarious. But I can't make popcorn anymore, so I got to do it on the barbecue.
Barbecued popcorn.
First world problem.
Is there anything better?
Yeah, seriously, first world problem.
All right, so we're good. Let's turn the meeting over to Paul right away. Bang! Let's go.
And just for the record, tomorrow I expect to go buy my DAW or whatever the fuck it is. Now, what I'm gonna plug it into, I don't know, but anyway, I'll have one.
More.
I made the plan. Anyway, yes, tomorrow.
Jim's
Go
like,
order the Amazon. Fuck it. We're just gonna go to Al Shabu and do it, and it'll be done. I gotta get some shirts and undies and pit stick and stuff. So we'll throw in a Steinberg Mark II, and
Okay, that's what you're getting?
yeah.
perfect. You
And
feel
then
comfortable with it?
now, check bang. I'll get to Sherbrooke, and the shitheads won't have it. It's in the fucking flyer that's over there from the store in Sherbrooke. I get there and they don't have it. Then I'm, you're gonna see me on the news tomorrow night. Balding white boy goes postal in an Ashabu in Sherbrooke. Yeah,
All I wanted was the Steinberg.
that's right. All I want.
That's like a suicidal tendency song there. All I wanted was a Pepsi.
And then the bell tower.
So yes, please take over. I see all these messages and people screenshots of things that look very similar. Everybody's excited.
Been pumping out some cakewalk, man. It's crazy. It's good stuff.
So do I gather this is the freebie that Enzo was alluding to? We could download, and it's all that and much more.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Enz, but Sonar is previously owned by whatever company. I don't know. It's not
Gibson.
Cakewalk. Hey?
Gibson.
Gibson?
They bought it from Roland
All right.
years ago.
So Cakewalk then got purchased by BandLab, the one that we're using for that web thing. And so there's a bunch of articles that say, Cakewalk is free and all this shit. So depending on where you click, it brings you to the BandLab site. And the first thing that they do is they don't say, here's Cakewalk for free. They say, download BandLab, which is what we all did. And we got that
BandLab Assistant
going, which is great. It's a social sharing, musical writing tool, whatever, all that stuff. So we've seen it. Jim, you've recorded on it on your phone and everything. But the trick is, Steve's already got it. Enz has the full-blown version, so it's not for him. I figured it out today. And now, Jim, is going to be your turn if you haven't done it already. When you installed BandLab, but on your PC, not necessarily on your phone, did you install it on your PC, I should ask?
On my work laptop when we were on last week.
Okay.
Cool. So there's two things. One is that you can go to BandLab on your browser to go to the page that we all share.
Right.
But there's another program installed on your computer. What is it called? The BandLab
Assistant?
client? Assistant.
BandLab Assistant.
Exactly.
That's where you
So
download it from.
You need to open the BandLab Assistant and log in. That's the trick. And when you do, you're going to get this little, like it's a mini, sort of like a chat window. It's the size of a cell phone.
Yeah, unfortunately, mine loads right away.
Yeah, well, I didn't let it do that. I just went right to the website, which is like I completely skipped the whole fucking point. So when you log into this BandLab Assistant, use your login and password, whatever you use to get in, and then it's going to take a little bit. It's going to probably update itself a minute or two. Then you're going to see Yadrukaru. One is go to BandLab, which you don't want to. Well, you can, but the second part is download Cakewalk.
I did the opposite of you, Paul. I did the complete opposite. I downloaded Sonar first. I go, fuck BandLab. I can download. I can get that tomorrow. You know, I wanted to see what it was, if it was the real shit, and it was. I already.
And it let you do it.
Okay, let me get on the BandLab, and the first thing I saw was your guitar things. The first guitar thing you did. I said, okay, interesting. And then I started to go into BandLab and see what it does, and I was like, okay, this is the shit. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to use.
So it let you download Cakewalk before you got BandLab.
Yeah, you go into BandLab, but I didn't go and explore it to know what it does. I went to BandLab Assistant right away to download it. I got it. There was the box. It looks like you can download it for your cell phone, for your whatever, your iPhone, and because it appears as an app.
Yeah.
So what happens is you're downloading it, and then it goes into your computer, and there you are. It's like, there it is. I got platinum. Good. Let's see how far it goes. It's not what you have, Ends. It looks like it and everything.
It's Cakewalk. It's Cakewalk by BandLab. That's what it is.
And I don't need everything it has. All I need to do is record it, and that's exactly what it's doing. 10 times better, and 10 times much faster than what's it called? Crowd shit fucking 9 or live, whatever the hell it was. Right. So I've been into. I just threw it. I just fucking deleted it, and I went with Cakewalk because I got to start it within minutes. Because I know Cakewalk. You know, I know how it works and everything. And the thing about me is I always had the fear of the next version, that it would be harder. Actually, it's fucking easier than the previous version.
From the screenshots you guys have been posting, it actually looks like it might be even easier than mine. It seems like there's a couple of little things that are missing. It's like a little less cluttered. But I would have that's probably just in the views. But Paul, I imagine
there's nothing missing from it. I can promise you there's nothing missing. It's just that you can customize it out the fucking ass. And depending, you've been using it for a while, so you probably customized your view. Steve, I don't know if you had up on the top right a chance to go and look. You can change it from production to mixing view. There's all kinds of views.
That's
so
where
the views might be different, but I bet you the
corner.
guts are exactly the same. Yeah. Jim, I think you've been trying to chime in for a second there. We've been yapping.
Yeah, what I was going to say is when I don't think I booted up my laptop. When I went on to BandLab and created the account the other night, and then I downloaded it on my phone, I don't believe that it actually loaded or asked me to load any kind of actual software or app or anything on my computer. So I don't think it got shit. So I got to
do something. Try this. Go hit your start menu.
Yeah.
And I don't know what version of Windows you have. Sometimes if you just start typing, you can search for something. Well, do a search for BandLab Assistant.
Yeah,
or just BandLab and see what comes up. You should have BandLab Assistant.
Yeah, I did that while you guys were talking. While I was trying to break in there, and it didn't bring up diddly. So that's why I'm thinking. I'm not sure what's what, because that's what I started doing. Yeah.
You could probably reinstall BandLab Assistant by just Googling it. It'll bring you to wherever you need to go. Let me see. There's probably a page for it. Don't download a virus.
So what it does, it brings up, it searches for a bunch of crap. So I got BandLab, download, Cakewalk, Assistant, login, bunch of crap.
Lab Assistant.
Cakewalk Assistant?
No, BandLab.
BandLab Assistant gets you Cakewalk.
Yes.
Okay, so.
And the original board
do a Google search for BandLab Assistant.
Okay.
And it'll pop up. The second search result they get is called BandLab Assistant for Desktop.
Right.
And you click on that sucker and make sure it looks legit. Install that. And you'll be set.
Yeah. Download. So this is not going to, it doesn't take 500
Oh, that one's like a minute. That one's no problem.
Yeah, no, I just mean in terms of size here because my computer is kind of pretty old and crusty. So run, yeah.
Wait till you get to Cakewalk.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be an install. You may not have the room for Cakewalk.
Well,
How big was it? I don't remember. And
I didn't look, but
okay, so it says what BandLab.
It told me
moved or deleted.
minimum 4 gig computer, so I have one, so I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Tells you the specifications, what you need, and all that. So I said, yeah, check, got it. So download it.
Well, can only find out by trying, Jim. Unfortunately, you may or may not have the space.
So
At this price, it's worth it.
mhm.
So, Paul,
Well,
all
so
these
far,
years
so
of
good.
Cubase, I know you like it. What did you find the biggest difference?
I spent all day on Cakewalk. I took one of my originals, my Tebow originals, and I had a fucking party with it. And I did everything but drums. This is a guide track. I put it in a guide folder, and I learned Cakewalk. I figured that was the best way to do it. I know my song, I know my metering, my tempo, and all that. And I went to town, I added some bits. And so I thought, all right, now I'm going to load Cubase. And I looked at the goofy little interface of Cubase, and I thought, wow, man, no kidding, I'm not excited. No wonder I don't want to fucking record. I remember an older version of Cubase. I don't know if I bought it or I hacked it. I had this kick-ass version of Cubase with all kinds of shit. And I found it simple because the interface was sort of to my liking. But after spending the day in Cakewalk, I did not install Cubase, but I'm basically never going to use it again. I went and opened up.
Oh my God, that far?
I did
It's going
tracks
that
of
far?
From a Stone. From a Stone.
You've
was
been
done
using
in
Cubase for years, man.
I know.
I'm surprised you're totally converted today.
But it was like night and day. So when I went into From a Stone, which I had done in Cubase, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and get excited about, because that was an exciting record for me. I enjoyed tracking that. And even though it's antique, it's going to change. But I'm like, hey, how do I feel, about going in and redoing stuff? I'm like, there's 1 amp, and it's fucking, I go back into Cakewalk, I'm like, beep, 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 bass face, plugs, pedals, fuck.
Speaking of all that, I don't want to cut in, but I got BandLab up, and then I'm guessing I'm gonna install Cakewalk here. If my computer blows up, well, then I don't go to work on Monday.
Excellent.
Select the add-on you want to install. Am I selecting
Jim's installing a DAW?
Studio Instrument Suite, Drum Replacer, Melodyne, and Theme Editor?
Mazel tov.
Listen, you know what? Before you do that, Jim, you don't have to install all those things. But listen, I mean, what you need is the basic, Cakewalk.
I'm pretty sure Melodyne and Drum Replacer take a lot of rooms. So, Jim, if you want to just play it safe, just say no.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's on you. Are you able to see what kind of space you've got left on your hard drive?
I mean, I guess I could pull it up and see.
Because if you've got like 400 meg, I mean, don't even bother, right?
I think
I'm going to drop the call and I'll come back, okay?
Salud.
I'll be back.
Go get the grappa.
Whoa, slipped out, I swear. Oh, fuck off. Jesus, H, Mary, and Joseph.
You got this, Jim.
No, it's, I will have it. It is, this Windows 10, I mean, I've been using it for a long time now, but just to get my settings is a pain in the ass. Settings, FIDQ. So I'll just ask, do you think I could see my system display, notify sound? Yes. Because I'll just.
If you want to find out the space really fast, if you just open up like an Explorer window, like a file window.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
right into just open up the C drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
That should give you the quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty. I'm all about quick and dirty. Quick and dirty. That's me.
Yeah,
All right, quick and dirty. One espèce.
In the meantime, Paul, I had a fucking blast tonight, man. Fucking, for the first time, I got everything right to record. And for the first time in my whole life, I'm enjoying recording a fucking song.
That's the fucking shit, man. I love it.
You know what happened tonight?
I got 156 gigs. Is that good?
Oh, fuck. Install everything.
Go
Click
for
on all
it.
the boxes and install tons of room, bro.
Do it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm doing the first take, right? And I'm listening to your guide track. I've got it into Sonar. And I'm going for it. And I'm saying, not this again, man. I'm hearing my own drums. I feel like I'm in the Allman Brothers. You know, and they're stupid. I know it's going to sound stupid because whatever, you guys, maybe you've done it before, I don't know, but you need to mute the fucking drum tracks while it's recording so you can actually hear the guide track. When I heard only you, the bass, and the guitar, it was like, oh man, I'm having a blast over here. So I did only one take tonight. It came out, made a little fuck-ups, but I'm taking out the unnecessary bass drum at the snare point, which is 2 and 2. It's too much. It's actually, what I did was I uploaded Lady in the Den into my own BandLab thing, and I put it into automatic EQ. And you know what BandLab did? It just canceled the bass drum on the snare shot. You know when you're going boom, boom, the second one on the snare, boom, ba, it cancels it out. It automatically EQs everything. And when I heard it, I said, I'm going to play it like that because it's cleaner. That bass drum at the snare cancels your bass. It cancels and just like I'm only going to use that for the intro of the song and in the intro. But when I'm playing, I'm just going to go tum pa, and even as retarded as it sounds, it's the perfect beat for that song without having to go with the extra bass drum. So I did that. I tried it, and I said it's cleaner, it's better because the bass drum is canceling the snare. It makes me have to hit the snare harder, and I don't want to do that. So when I hit it on the, I got it like that. I tried it like that. Ended the song. I didn't do the ending part really right, but I said that's just the first take. Tomorrow's the day that I'm going to work out all the kinks. I'm going to Long and McQuaid tomorrow morning, which is close by the way. They just opened the store on Pineuf. So the northeast end of Montreal finally has a music store.
Is it big?
They've never had one. It's, do you know Pineuf? Because you used to frequent to Laval 20 years ago there, and on Pineuf, there was a strip where there was a Belle Province and a Subways on the way to Laval.
Steve,
hold on
a second here. Please choose basic or advanced installation here.
You know what? You can, if you choose advanced, which I did, and you click through, there's no change. So just do basic; it'll be fine. You clicked all the boxes right before to install everything.
Yeah.
Just go basic.
Sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes.
But it's good. Just to touch on that. Sorry, Jim. Just to say that it's going to take a while. You're going to see that in the little BandLab assistant, it's going to say 1 of 5.
I got those already.
And it's going to take a while, and then 2 of 5 is going to take forever, and then 3 is going to go quick. But it's going to take 5-10 minutes at least, and it'll install.
Yeah, it's done.
Go, Steve.
It's extracting files. It's doing its thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I don't remember if you remember that strip before you go down to Laval from Pineuf. There was a mall, and then after there's an Ultramart. Well, there was a Casual Sport there in that corner. I don't even know if it was there in the early 90s. But anyway, the Casual Sport didn't work there anymore. They closed it. They tried a specialty burger place that never even got open. And then Long and McQuaid bought it, and they just opened it like... I think 3 weeks ago they opened it.
So
I'm gonna go down there.
To Laval before Montreal. Hey, that's kind of strange, no?
Yeah, but you're going north towards Laval. Now they finally
I'm wondering why they didn't open in Montreal first. I guess like they're testing it out in a safe environment or something.
But they have a lot?
They got 4 now.
I was gonna say they have a couple other ones.
Okay.
Jim,
I haven't been yet.
Jim, on La Jeunesse, what was the old sound and equipment place? What was it called?
La Tosca, and then there was a Hunting Music. So Hunsick is the long.
That's Long and McQuaid.
That's Long and McQuaid. That's what Enzo told me.
Gotcha.
Because you know
there's
You're surrounded.
and the one in Laval.
I used to clear for Long McQuaid years ago, and I'd hear about all these wonderful stores. I also used to clear for Steve's, but I go to Steve's, I'm like, I can't go to Long McQuaid? No, we don't have to. Go to Ottawa, got to go outside of Quebec. Right. And now I haven't been into Montreal into a music store other than when I bought my Les Paul at Diplomat last fall. I haven't been in a store in Montreal, period, for I don't know, a couple of years, right? And Enzo's like, Long McQuaid. I'm like, what are you, crazy? There's no Long McQuaid here. The Hunsick music, whatever. So they're popping up like mushrooms.
Now there's one on Boulevard Pinette from Montreal North. They never had a.
Well, it's in the what the hell they call it? That Forget Mall or the Pine? That was it called? The Forest Mall or whatever.
Forêt.
That Forêt. That's it.
Forêt, where the Esso is. Just after that, after the mall, it's there. That's where the casual sport is.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
It used to be.
C'est bon. Well, it's okay. I'm not coming in.
I'm going over there tomorrow. I'm going there tomorrow to get 2 XLR jacks, XLR for the Behringer mics. I'm going to put another one in front of the bass drum and one underneath the snare. Because now, with the Sonar, it's not able to, it only gives me 6 tracks, plus one here. You're trying to have fun there, but it limited me to 6 tracks. So I said, now what am I going to do? I got to minus a track and put the guide track. But then when Enzo said, fuck all this, go on BandLab, get the thing downloaded. I can finally go to 16 tracks. Beautiful. Now
the full gamut, the whole thing.
Man, you don't know how fucking relieved I am since last Sunday.
I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine.
You look spent, Steve. You look like.
Well, the way the pillow's adjusted, it makes me look like it's been a hard day, but actually it was a satisfying day.
I can imagine.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna put in the extra 2 tracks to get the other mic in front of the bass drum, while the other one's inside the bass drum and one underneath the snare. So we're gonna so Enzo can play with 4 tracks of snare, bass, and try to create that dynamic I want to get. That's all up to him later on. I'm giving him all the options to be able to mix the way he wants, because now it's opening up a little more. Because of Sonar.
Enzo's happy, the band is happy, right? That's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Give him all the tracks raw, no fucking effects, nothing. He's gonna be a very happy man.
It sounds good enough just the way it is. I know it needs, compression, needs EQ and a little bit of reverb, but still, just the way it is. Those fucking preamps from the Scarlett, man, they're the best. They're fucking that good. I mean, if I wanted to go upgrade, it would be the Claret, but the Claret's $1,000, and the Claret is like the only feature it has that keeps it at $1,000 is this feature called Air. I have no idea what that is, but the guy who was talking about it said it's a feature they took from the old stuff, and that's why it's worth $1,000. Whereas the Scarlett is only $500, but it does roughly the same thing. It's got 2 headphone amps on it. It's got all the features you need, plus the most important thing, which is the preamps.
Oh, did it work?
And one difference in the preamps is that the Scarlett is louder than the Claret. The Claret is more for, I think, hip hop or something like that. I think it is, like to soften the beats and not to gather so much room sound. Something like that.
So, Enzo, looking back, here's the update. Jim is currently installing the full-blown version of Cakewalk via BandLab. He's got 140. Yeah, ask Gabo. It's that.
You got a full Monty for. Now, the beauty is I'll have all of this stuff, but I ain't got no mics. I got no wires here, so I got bupkis still.
Doesn't matter.
This is the start. That's all that matters. If you've got
and you look happy.
This Cakewalk program that you're installing is basically the receptacle of every single piece of music that you will ever do. It's so important. I mean, you could have all the mics in the world, but if you have no DAW, you got nothing. So anyway, yeah, Jim's installing a DAW. Fuck that. It's amazing. And with 143 gig free space, Jim, not only do you have enough room for the DAW, but you've got enough room for all of the tracks that you're going to start doing, because it's half the battle is the 8 gig of whatever, but there's another 20 gig in the next 2 months that you're going to beep.
Well, you know what? what? Don't tell anyone, but it's my work computer, and so I can just take the crap and move it right into the work cloud. Don't tell my boss. Oh,
Just
I
told
am
the
boss.
millions and the millions that are watching.
Yeah, that's
What?
right.
It's Saturday night.
That's right. It's
And
like, don't
second
tell the
thing
boss.
is,
Yeah, I
second
won't
thing
tell
is that Steve was just updating us on how excited he was to be using all the tracks of his 16 inputs with this amazing cakewalk. As I've shared with you guys at the top of the show, I'm fucking completely converted. I have switched religions now. Cubase, I miss you, but it's all about cakewalk, and I'm 100% in, all in. And so now that you're back ends, if I may interject and just sort of quickly talk about BandLab, unless you guys want to interrupt with something else.
I'll
You
interrupt
had
when I
a
need
shitload
help.
of stuff that you wanted to talk about. I
Not
know.
really a shitload. I just wanted to cover something because I avoided getting into it in the Facebook chat because I didn't, whatever, go into these fucking monologues. So it's easier to just tell you, BandLab. BandLab is great because you can take a track and pop it in. Each one of us gets a notification, and we're like, oh, something's up with Here and Now, or Lady in Den, or Funkin' D, or Paul's Lament, or Paul's Polka, or whatever. That is awesome.
Or Steve's Big Mac.
As you know, especially you, Steve, taking your 16 tracks and plugging them into BandLab is a waste of your time and energy and the taxing of your patience, right? Because it's just going to fail. in my opinion. So here's what I suggest. It's a workflow suggestion. The idea of how to go from A to Z for the Soulmasons. Executive summary. Are you ready? I'm going to use Enzo as my guinea pig for part one. Because Enzo, you are an idea smith. You got a shit fuck of ideas, which is great. We are trying to do our monthly quota, Jim and I, and Steve is experimenting with how to write. You have 30.
Yeah.
So let's call it the seed, the idea. Enzo has an idea.
Paul, I got a name for what Enzo's got. He's got idea-ria. Yeah, let's get a copyright on that now. You got your account open? Idea-ria.
Idea-ria.
Let's put that down. I'm gonna maybe a song. We'll
Keep
call
it flowing.
I love that. It's a done deal.
All right. Sorry.
So Enzo has idea-ria and puts it on BandLab, of course, because what the fuck use is it in Sonar? It doesn't make a difference if he's got it at home. Put it in BandLab, off tempo, 15 different time signatures, doesn't matter. And so my job is to clean that up. And by clean it up, meaning like exactly with From a Stone, I try. And I give version 1 draft. And everyone picks away at it. Nope, it's too fast. Nope, too long. Nope. Nope. And that's okay. And exactly what you did ends in Facebook on our page. You said, oh, here's an idea, but after the draft. Like version 2, version 3. That needs to go back up on BandLab. So it's the ping pong between you and me.
Cut.
You pop it in BandLab, or whoever, Jim and Steve, anyone has an idea, put it in BandLab, and it's my job to be an asshole and put it in a tempo and whatever. And when I see that I can't get away with that, then it means it's not finished yet, right?
Can I interject for a second?
Yeah.
So when the beauty of BandLab, I think, from what I understand so far, is that we can I don't know, I got a chord in D and I put it up on Facebook. I recorded on my phone, me playing it, right? So that's just a video. So Enzo wants to do it, so he's got to take it and try and play it his own way and change it to say, well, what if we add this to it? But it's still not 2 tracks, right? It's not But in BandLab, you put something up, I can add my own track to it. You can take it out. You can fart with it, cut, snip, this, that. We can do that in our DAWs. But in BandLab, we can collaborate together. I can add a track and you go, oh yeah, that's scrap, man. Just like mute it and play it something different. So it allows us to collaborate online the way we've been talking about, right? This is where we're headed. That's
Absolutely.
what BandLab will allow us to do.
Absolutely.
And we do the good shit in Cakewalk.
Because BandLab is
That's where it's going. But I'm gonna capitalize on this. I'm gonna use your song, Jim, as a second part of this example. Enzo ideas or seeds or idearrhea. Jim has idearrhea too. All right. And so that song that you did, that I put a very Zeppelin-esque vocal on, kind of melancholy thing. It's also my job to take yours and put it into a tempo and a structure, even if it's just 3 strums of the guitar. If it's worth it and it's that good, which I found your idea was, that's my job. Now, I may not have all the lyrics. And what you played, what is it called? Funkin' D or?
Open D, half or I don't know, whatever, something.
Right. So, Open D Baffle. It's got a bunch of weird structure elements to it. I can take that track, put it into Cakewalk, and I can take one section of it and stretch it, shrink it, whatever, and do all this stuff and try and create you on tempo over
right
in a structure and copy paste. This is, I'm going to call it the verse. I'm going to call this a bridge and put it back and throw a vocal on it. And you guys, oh, wait a second. And then, Jim, you're going to have to relearn how to play your own song.
Yep. Not the first time.
Or we scrap it and we move on to the next idea. And so you say, no, you know what? I'm going to fucking mull it over. I'm going to have a few more beats.
Jim, once you start using it and get used to it, you're going to love it, man. It's amazing. That's such a
but
great
all of this
time
is still in BandLab. Like, we haven't even gone to Sonar or Cakewalk. All I'm saying is, to me, that's what BandLab is for.
For ideas. BandLab,
it's just the share shit.
BandLab is ideas. Because all the real recording is going to be
in Cakewalk.
No doubt
now,
about it.
At one point, okay, it won't take, some songs will go fast. Some songs will just stay simmering forever in BandLab and never get finished. And that's okay. But it's going to grow. And the BandLab repertoire is going to become like, what is the most recent one? Okay, the one that trickles to the top, it's because we're all into it. That's the obvious one. Whether it's an old Guitar Case Stories or a new idea, whatever. Okay? So once the structure's there, and my job is to sort of respond to each of your different versions of it and say, okay, let's do this. It's on tempo, and it's got a structure.
Yeah.
And it can have tempo changes. It can be 3/4, 4/4, 120, go down to 110, whatever. But it's the final one. When we're all happy with it, we just say, this is officially the guide track. It's official. That's the guide. We all have a Donna. We take the guide and we download it to our DAW on YouTube. Right?
Yeah, I watched your channel. You guys were trying to watch it, laughing and chatting amongst yourselves.
Oh, this is the car you bought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead, Steve. You can go talk to them if you want to.
Oh, good, man. Do your thing, bro. It's all good.
Say hello for us.
Much cleaner, much.
Say hi to the guys.
Jim, folks.
Hey,
Angelo
bro.
Gia, look at that. I watched your channel last night.
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't do that.
A buddy of mine. We want to just watch. If you guys were playing, like we're while you're recording or playing some songs or stuff like that.
We just drink, Paul.
It's all drinking, man. It's all drinking. All the time.
So it's a channel that's devoted to drinking.
For now.
Precisely.
For now.
His brother Ken made that official last week. You should have seen.
Anyway, all right, guys.
Take care,
Take
buddy.
care.
Buddy. Good to see you, man.
You too.
There you go.
I'd rather see you
Family
guys
reunion. The best.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna do that. Yeah.
That'd be,
When all the songs are prepped and everything and done and recorded. We're just figuring something out right now.
Almost send them an email.
Send us a check.
Well,
A
exactly.
check. We'll do whatever you want.
Sign up to the Patreon.
Send us a check. No, he said he'll pay the cover charge of the show.
Tell your brother Steve, we got pictures of him back in 537 there. Pictures of you, Paul, years ago wearing some sad little sweater. Blackmail you, man. I got shit in the binder over there, man. We can, don't worry. So as Zen said, you send us a check, it's all good, man. It's all good. Or beer.
Is that what we call blackmail? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Let's see if I got this right here. Sounds like blackmail.
One last show at the Pioneer Club, guys, before it shuts down.
Before they shut her down.
That ain't happening.
I don't know if we're gonna make it to that.
That's funny. No, we're missing the boat on the Pioneer, guys. I'm just
it's history already, man.
Yeah.
There's a real estate shark that's foaming at the mouth right now.
Yeah.
Big time.
Exactly.
Okay. Back on target.
Yeah, okay, so Band
Back on
Lab.
target.
We get back and forth with whatever the hot idea of the week, of the month, until all of us like, yeah, okay, good. And you know how it is. We're going to get excited about one or two specific ideas every month until it's nailed in. And on Band Lab, from zero time with the right tempo, it's locked in. It's a guide. Then the message goes out, guys, download it to your DAW. You take that guide, and you can adjust it however you want. You can increase the bass, lower the guitar, whatever. The guide may be a hodgepodge of all of us, or it might be just me, like with Lady in the Den. Sorry, Ends, but I took over. I tried to play like you. In some cases, I won't be able to play like you guys. I'll fuck around with cuts of your own guitar. So the guide will graduate into our DAWs. Once you've got it in your DAW, every one of us has the job of recording our own tracks, right? So for you, Steve, I'm going to use the example, part 2, right?
Numbnuts.
When you have a guide like you did with Lady in the Den, you're already doing it. So you're taking that guide and you're re-recording the drums, or you're recording the drums for the first time, separate tracks. And I zoomed in on the picture that you posted, Steve, and the resolution of your tracks is great. You got full volume for toms, and I don't see the toms in the fucking kick drum track at all. Like, it's perfect. Enzo's gonna have a field day with this shit. So for Jim, for you, it's gonna be the same thing. In your DAW, you're gonna have this guide track from Band Lab, and you may or may not have any drums to work with, but at least you can start. You can put a mic behind your cab, in front of your cab, a line in. You can have fucking 14 tracks going, or at least 2 right now with your Steinberg.
For guide tracks, I'm sure he has a preamp out, like your bass head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got it. There's a line out on the back of my head.
There you go.
A line out. So you can have as many signals as you want going for each take, but you're basically in the business of recording your guitars and ends, layered up, acoustic, rhythm, electric rhythm.
I got one technical question for you, though, Paul. When you redid the guide, you didn't use my counting. You went in a bar earlier.
What I didn't realize is that you were trying to play at 125.
Yeah, okay.
And I caught that. I'm like, oh, fuck. So in Band Lab, I set the tempo to 125, and a whole bunch of shit started to happen. It tried to break the tracks, and I'm like, fuck. So I basically muted your stuff because I didn't want to go fast or slow, and I listened to you, the mixed version of you, over and over again to remember the structure of the song, and I had to go by heart. I don't have a good memory, so I have a 5-minute window to remember what you did. And even in one spot, I think I fucked up. I went an extra 4 count.
Yeah, you have an extra bar, yeah.
So unfortunately, this is stapled into the guide. But when we all download this into our DAW, and Steve, I noticed you didn't set the tempo in your DAW. You left it at 120, the default. If you set it to 125, and we all do that, then I'm basically able to tell you guys from beat 64 to 68, cut it and shrink. And we're all going to have the exact same thing. even though we're working independently.
See, what it is, Steve, the other thing is okay, for Lady in the Den, it works because you come after. Here and Now, it works because you come in after. The other ones, you need the counting, you're going to need the timing. That's why he's telling you that. Even though you're not going to use the click, you're using us. But the counting, like, there's no, right now, you don't hear the counting on Lady in the Den. But I'm sure it's there, right, Paul? You did a counting or you just went?
I always leave 3 full bars. Full bars. Because there's one by default that comes before it starts to record.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So you get 3 clicks before anything starts. But the thing is, you don't even have to use it. If you wanted to, like, I mean, in dead spots, if we have songs that have got a really big dead spot, you could do, stick hits on the click and record it as a track and make your own click. You know what I mean? Instead of having, because otherwise you'll have the click all the way through. So in certain spots, if you want to, you record a new track or arm a new track, and you just put on the click, and you're listening to yourself and all the guys in the back, and you tick, 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 and then stop it when you want. So you don't have the click all the way through.
That's the crap that I did, where you hear me counting at certain parts. 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4. Because there, it is the dead spot, right? We're like, where the fuck are we going? But so Steven wants to record tomorrow, right? So do you want him to take out those 2 extra bars, or you want to go with it and see how it sounds?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I went with what he was doing, and I figured, oh boy, I'm missing a couple of bars in there.
So let me fix it. That's my job. Let me fix it in BandLab.
Yeah.
I'll fix the guide. That's the whole point. Yeah. Instead of all of us, we all have to fucking collapse one beat, and Jim does it different than that. Fuck.
By the same token, Paul, not to interrupt, when I was going towards the end, the last break before we go into the last part, that we go to the last part, the last break, you're playing, and it's like I'm going with the hi-hat, and it's off. There's a point where my hi-hat has to jump a beat to catch up with you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there is. I'm gonna before you do anything, I'm gonna look at it again tomorrow, to be sure, because it fucked me. I went back on time because it's in the interlude. It's not in the actual beat. It's in the interlude of the break. Yeah. So it sounded good. I caught up with back at the end of the song.
Is the part where it's like after the second verse? Is it the part after the second verse?
It's the last break, the third break before we go to the last verses to go to the end. Because in actuality, it would be a fourth break, but it's not a fourth break. We're going into the end of the song. So I call it the third break. The third break is the combo. The third break is there's no bass drum, and then the build up. Dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Where Steve, where Jim and Paul are on the F. You guys are that time while I'm doing the riff.
Exactly.
I know what he's talking about.
So when I'm playing the hi-hat because
the last verse.
Drummer, I have the internal clock, right? So right away, I don't even notice I'm going on the hi-hat. Okay, it's off. Okay. Or I have to reinvestigate tomorrow.
The beginning of the
last
verse.
I got to reinvestigate tomorrow the situation.
So that's awesome, because that's exactly what we need to be doing for every song. We need to be doing this like to death.
Yeah.
It's just about the song that we know the best. Guys, imagine a new song that we don't even know the final version, let alone half of it. It needs to be this. And so what I'm proposing is we're going back a step into the BandLab environment where we're still back and forth. We're creating a guide. Until that guide is finished, we can't record. We can't.
Right.
No.
And so the reason for doing it on a tempo is that instead of this, the third break, you tell me, at beat 114.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
write it down. Written all on top, man. Just go live on top.
That's it. Exactly right. It always starts at 0 time. It always goes the same. Doesn't matter if you import it to any DAW, Cubase or Cakewalk or Sonar. It's going to work. It's always going to work. So what you guys need to do is think in terms of beats or bars. And you look at the top of BandLab. Trust me, when you import it and you set your metronome to the same beats per minute, it's going to be the same language. Doesn't matter where you're looking, in BandLab or in your DAW. He's, hold on a second. Fuck. At beat 84, something's fucked up. Jim's playing a wrong chord. Paul played the wrong bass note. Oh, yeah, okay. We fix. Or you mute that just to get by it. Like, whatever. Yeah. We picked the fastest way to get to the guide is good enough because the guide's going to go bye-bye. You know, it's going to get deleted as soon as possible.
These things are going to happen in between breaks, like Late in the Den, where it has 3 breaks, because there's like you're lost in a break. There's no. Yeah. I can play a hi-hat through it, whatever, when I do my version. But in your case, you're making the guide track up, so you're like in your mind you're counting, and it's like, okay, I come in around here, and you start, and then it's off by like half or a full.
No, but wait.
That's why I use the purpose of having that metronome. You can run it in the back just to.
So here's what I suggest. So Steve, you can be part of the guide track. In fact, that would be fucking awesome. So what I've got right now in BandLab for Lady in the Den, you've already downloaded. We see the tracks. You already did some tests. So what you can do is you can snip out the break. I mean, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying I'm going to snip out the break because I know exactly what you're talking about. But for, let's say, the part that is off, like I'm playing bass off and rhythm off, I'm following myself off beat, at it, you know, in the DAW, cut it and delete that snip.
And that's why I'm going to reinvestigate
and
it
play
tomorrow.
through, because you know what to play. It's me that's throwing you off because the guide is off. If the quicker way, and I'm not saying that you have to fix all these things, it's my job to do it, but in a case like that, you can just snip it out, do the drum track, upload a mixed stereo version. Don't do each track, snare, kick, snare. Mix it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
And upload it to BandLab as a second track.
That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. What I'm going to do is, what I want to exactly do tomorrow is I want to look at that again, that part, because it's the only part that I have to see if it's me or if it's you. So I'm going to reinvestigate that.
Oh, for sure, it's
Once
me.
it's done, because it could be I'm off too. It's not that it's off or off time. It's I'm off on the other one, or vice versa. Once that's done, because I have the whole day tomorrow to work on this. So once I get it done, I'm going to import or export the whole file with the guide track, because I heard it all together. It sounds pretty good, actually. It's missing Enzo and Jim's guitar. That's what it's missing in there. The color and the shade and whatever. But otherwise, I heard it all together. Now, what I'm going to do tomorrow is, once I'm satisfied with my track, I'm done. I'm like, I like it. This is what I want. I'm going to export all that as one track onto BandLab, and you're going to hear it all together with your guide. And you're going to
don't export it with the guide, Steve. Don't export the guide. Give us in BandLab just drums.
You just want your drums?
No, because the guide's
drums.
there already.
Because it's going to be in time with the guide that's there. Yeah. And the reason for that is, think of it this way. I'm building the guide, moving forward, I'm building the guide in Cakewalk. I'm not building it in BandLab. I'm not going to fuck around with latency and bullshit trying to record in a web-based. Yeah, I'm going to record the guide in my DAW. So when you export your drums, stereo drums, everything sandwiched together, but nothing else, only drums. I don't care about EQ. Just want to hear kick and snare, man.
That's it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be like I'm playing with you live in a room. You export that, I will import it into my DAW. I will mute and delete my old bass, and I will play with you. And I'll fucking re-export my bass only as a part 2. I will delete the old bass in BandLab and re-put the new bass next to your drums, stereo. And I'll redo the vocal just for kicks. And I'm going to keep them separate. Vocal is separate from bass, which is separate from drums. And then you don't need any guitars anymore. We delete all the guitars from BandLab and everywhere else. And now these guys get fucking busy.
Exactly.
Enzo and Jim download 3 tracks separately. You mute the 2 others. You export drums. Mute the drums. Unload the bass. Export. You guys now have 3 guide tracks. This is all guides. This is not final. Steve, your stuff is not final. This is all guides. Now, everyone has the same bass, drums, and vocal. You put it in a folder called guide, and you can adjust the volumes individually. Enzo recording rhythm until the fucking cows come home. Guess what? He exports that and pops it into BandLab. And Jim, whatever guitars you do, it's all that same thing. So at one point, we got 5 or 6 tracks in BandLab, and we're all dealing with the same tracks. But the one thing that's important is that those tracks come from this amazing sandwich of stuff in each of our DAWs. We all have different stuff in our DAWs. We don't have to have the same things. Enzo's got 18 different tracks of rhythm that he's fucking around with. I like the verse 1 of this. Verse 2. To us, it's just one track in BandLab. We don't think about what he's doing. And we don't need his 18 tracks of experiments. Jim's doing leads. Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't like that. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, oh, yeah. You're going to have 25 tracks of lead, Jim. And then you're going to export the best one. You decide.
That's right.
Take one, take 6, and then mix into this, and whatever.
Then
in BandLab, what we're doing is we're taking the best of our guide tracks, pushing them up to make provide each our own best guide that gets sandwiched together to be, so we can, and you can mute and do whatever. When I want to record the real shit, I just want to listen to Steve. I don't want to listen to anybody else. I mute the other shit and I just listen to the channel I want, right? The track I want.
So one thing happens every once in a while is that I make a mistake on the bass, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a second, this is a pretty cool mistake. I think I like that. I'm gonna post it up."
Those are the
and
things
then you guys are gonna, oh yeah, we all have to do a punch there in the third break. Fucking punch, pow pow pow. Okay, everyone's redoing their track.
I get to work out the subtleties I've been wanting to work out with Lady in the Den anyway, so.
We're building a guide, not just for the tempo, guys, but for the feel, for everything, and we're imagining the final product. Now, okay, we can all see the final product. The guide version of this, all right, it's only ever going to be 5 tracks. Drums, bass, rhythm, vocal, lead. That's it. It's our 5 guide tracks that we need to build the song. Once it's fucking done, like the dynamics and the flow, and we fucking leave space for the vocal and build up for the... Can you imagine? It's going to be... Guys, hold on. No. It's not final. I want to do one more take of the rhythm guitar. Just give me 5 days. Okay, fine. No problem. And
you know what happened
the final version of the guide is there, and we call it final. We say, okay, we got to give birth to this baby. It's done. The BandLab track is locked for that song. We all download the final guide. Okay? And we don't need to re-record the guide anymore. That's it. We've locked it. We've all agreed. There's not going to be any changes to it. So we get into, it becomes a pre-production track. BandLab, bye-bye for that. Now we're all working off the guide. We have the 5 different tracks in the guide folder, so you can mute out the drums if you want. You can increase or decrease the vocal. You can do so much shit in the DAW, but you have control. It's your own personal mix, so that you can record the final version of the drums,
right,
the final version of the bass, the final versions of the 5 rhythm guitars, the final versions of the 3 different sounding leads with layers and punch-ins and all, whatever you want. We don't bother with BandLab anymore. We send Enzo those tracks, raw, no effects, except for the preamp effects from your guitar and stuff that you need. But we are sending Enzo raw tracks, and he's coming back to us saying, Jim, excellent lead, but unfortunately you peaked out in the 3rd verse. Your gain was too high. Fuck. Okay, no problem. I'll redo it. Paul, excellent backup vocal, but I hear the room echo. Go sit in the closet with a blanket around you. Like, whatever. He's going to give us what he needs to make this, like, ready to be mastered. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So there's pre-production. We're not dealing with BandLab anymore. This tool, which is so amazing to us. Okay, it was great for the guy, and that's it. Pre-production is in the DAWs. We're all working in our own DAWs, working away, toiling at these fucking tracks, and sending them to Enzo. Steve, to answer you, you can upload final tracks to BandLab if you don't want to use Dropbox. Yeah. You can do that, because you can upload and he can download. That's fine. But I don't care how you deliver it. You put them on a CD and go and deliver them by hand. Like, it doesn't matter. As long as Enzo has the raw tracks and it's easy for you to export, that's it.
I'll figure that out.
So Enzo's mixing, before, and he's uploading to BandLab.
I just want to tell Enzo tonight, because when he came last week, there was a concern about the hi-hat sound, that it wasn't loud enough. Let me tell you, tonight I went back and forth 3-4 times to higher the volume in Scarlett to get the hi-hat. And I readjusted the mic so that it's closer to the hi-hat. I'm like, it's there, I hear it, but I need a little bit more. So tomorrow I'm going to be working on that as well, because it's close enough to the hi-hat. Even though when the hi-hat opens, it doesn't touch the mic or anything like that. It's just that I'm discovering that the hi-hat is going to be the loudest fucking fade, well, not fade in, but volume up of everything.
Okay, you got to remember now that you're working on what are we calling it, cakewalk?
Yeah.
Cakewalk.
At the top of your strip, there's a gain. Remember I was bitching about your fucking kraut sausage crap that there's no gain?
Yeah.
Your fader is a volume. It does nothing for the recording. The gain is like a preamp with a two, that's what gives you recording volume. That's what's going to put you in the red. So it's those guys that you crank out to record. Your faders, that's just for your level. That's whatever. The gain up there, and remember, with your Scarlet, try and push everything as far high as you can.
And like you were saying before, Steve, mute out the drums so you don't have to hear your loud hi-hat or loud cymbals, right?
No, Paul, it's not what you know what it is when you're hearing yourself play. It's like a flam, a snare flam. 3/4. It's at half second or a quarter second time. Like you think you're hearing another drummer playing next to you, and it's off by a hair.
Yeah.
I never monitor anymore because of that. I never monitor because it fucks me up. I would love to hear the sound that I've got. I mean, trust me, it's guitar, it's preamp, it's fucking everything is in the sound that I picked.
I don't know how I got through the last recording I did years ago with George, where I heard myself play at the same time, but I got through it. But this time around, it's like when I finally discovered that, I don't mute the recording. I'm only muting the headphone. Yeah. To me, and then you don't know how easy it was afterwards when I went along with your guide track. Really? That's what I had to do years ago. Fuck, I didn't do that. I got through it. I did the recording, but the whole time I was hearing myself play at the same time. I don't want that. I want to hear my drum set, not the other twin in the computer playing the same thing at almost a half or quarter second apart from me, because that's what it sounds like. It fucks you up.
So Jim, just to translate this into your world, right, Jim? It's going to be interesting.
It's worse with drums than it is for you guys because you're hearing a.
I don't know.
It's off.
That's what I was going to say to Jim. Is I don't know if it's going to be worse for him or not. But Jim, when you go buy your Steinberg and you're plugging in, let's say you plug in your dry guitar just into the Steinberg, and you go into the DAW, and you got all of these software amps and effects and shit. The problem that happens, even with an amazing computer and like a decent sound card, the problem that happens is that you boom, and exactly a quarter of a second later you hear the effect. So it fucks you up. You can't play that. So what we need to do as guitarists is get the best sound possible out of our preamp, as close as possible, and record without listening to any software effects, and just you got to be on. You got to be right into the feel, and you don't want to hear a quarter second delay. It really fucks you up.
I bet.
And it's gonna sound good because your feel is there and your volume is right, and then afterwards you come back and you tweak and you add. There's going to be chorus and flanger and whatever, but you add them after the fact, unless you've got it in your preamp. And Enz is going to be a fan of put the least amount of stuff, no reverb or whatever, dry, but preamp, crunch, gain, all that shit.
I suspect we'll have to twist some arms with me. I mean, the only effect that I've used in the last 20 years is a wah-wah pedal, and I haven't even used that. So
but I mean, your preamp is your sound. You got
to get into emulatorville, my friend.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have a preamp. I don't have an amp sound. I use everything is in the software. So I come close. I use the PV Mark 6. That's my pre for everything. Bass, guitar, always. I mean, my acoustic goes straight in, but other than that, it's a dry.
When I had it open before, I know from how was it called years ago? What's his face? Chris had given me a copy of it. Not iRig, but the guitar rig as well. Right, and it had this is when I lived in my apartment, right? So I didn't have somewhere I could actually play out loud or whatever. So I play in there and had all kinds of shit. Like, and I didn't. It was just before I bought the Mesa. I still had the other whatever the thing is over in Steve's place, and it has all kinds of stuff. And I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, okay, it sounds kind of cool, but I don't know if I'd use that shit on a recording. Like,
That's the thing.
I want a clean sound and analog.
Guide, this is for your guides. For
Yeah,
the
I'm not putting effects. I play the way I play, and that's how it sounds. So I want the sound of my amp pad. The line out from the amp pad is going to be the sound, minus the sound of the cab or whatever in the room. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, listen. Okay, now I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. For finished product, when it comes to that, basically, I want you to feel comfortable with what you're playing with, so you have the most creative freedom. The actual sound that you're going to use, I'll crucify you with it when it's time. But I couldn't care less what sound you record with to start, to have your creative freedom.
I realize that, Enz. You've been tweaking my sound however you see fit for the last 25 years, so... and that's fine. So
no, because you gotta remember this, okay? The old stuff has a certain sound. There's a certain thing that we do, but that's all open for discussion or whatever. We can experiment to a certain degree on those and say, hey, you know what I hear on this one now? I hear this. Well, try it. See how it sounds. That's whatever. But the newer stuff, I mean, whatever. Like you said, you have distortion, you have clean, and you have wah-wah. Yeah, well, don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about fuck all ends because you know what? In my mind, the sound that comes out, the way I play, and you guys may disagree, but I don't envision having different kinds of sounds for different songs or whatever because the way I sound is the way I sound. That's just the way, the sound, the guitar, the guitar, it sounds different because the guitar is different, but I never fart with my sound I mean, maybe I should, but I don't, right? And that's where you're going to be, as you said.
Enzo will make you fart.
Yeah, well, he'll make me fart, I'm sure. He'll squeeze me real tight and something will come out, yes.
But listen, for shits and giggles, you're not going to give me the full shred Mesa sound for your rhythm on Lady in the Den.
Well, of course not.
So there you go.
Of course not. But it's still going to be. And now I'm not disputing. What I'm saying is, and I mean, this is an existential conversation we're having here. Is that Jim sounds the way Jim sounds. Right. Jim knows he sounds the way he sounds, and you can add, a fucking Big Mac of fucking effects. Jim is still going to sound like Jim.
Yes, that's the point.
That's got no bearing. So I'm gonna play the way I play. And you can add fucking icing as much as you want and sprinkles and whatever. And then ultimately, after you will do all this shit, then I'm gonna go, scrape all the caca off. I want my original sound back. But hey, we'll see. We don't know.
But you have a DAW. You're in charge of your own shit now.
Well, I'm in charge until I export it to Sparky here, and then he starts fucking doing some voodoo there.
No, Jim, I don't believe in adding effects to the guitar after the fact.
Oh, well, I know that, and I'm counting on it.
Especially not tone, not distortion. I'll never take a distortion off of that to rival my son or your fucking Mesa. That's not going to happen. What I'll add is atmospheric, where I'll
kick you in your atmospheric. Yes.
I'll give you a good example. Your last lead in "Love in Your Eyes."
The last lead, "Love in Your Eyes," where we're going bananas.
No, that's the.
You mean where I'm syncopating with Paul's?
What effect are you using? You don't remember, do you?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember what I had for lunch. Give me a break here. I don't remember. I'm guessing it's like a tape delay kind of thing.
No.
Okay.
It was a pedal. Think what pedal we had in those days. Very simple. It was a flanger. My flanger pedal.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So you're right. Yes. So no, and we're good. We're gonna fart around, but when I'm recording stuff, and I guess anyway, we'll see. Because sometimes this. No, but listen. I mean, I spent for how many years over the course of not playing any stuff where I always play dry, right? I'm not even plugged in. I play everything dry. However, often the sound that you have when you're actually playing, right now, this may be the driver, and this is something when I bring up Cakewalk again, what I had it open before, by the way, it works. I don't know what to do with it, but yes, it works.
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you. Is that the sound you have drives the way you play, right?
Yeah.
So if I got the right sound, it drives the way I'm going to play. So if I want to play that atmospheric sound, well, I need it for this part. I presume that we can add it. We could add it in after some of that stuff, Piggly Wiggly, like, add it in and but presumably you want me to play with it so that I'm going to make it sound right. And then you can pull it out, add it back in, adjust it, whatever you want, depending. And you also want a dry signal too that you can play with, right? So presumably
you gotta feel like cool about it. You have an arsenal of sounds at your disposal, Jim. That you're gonna fuck around with it, as much as you want, and it's gonna make you feel like playing, like you did with the F. You said, I've never played an F before. That was just a thing. So that's exactly what you're doing in a DAW. The exact same thing, no change.
And the beauty is, in Cakewalk, when I record with some of the effects, if I pile them on in there, if you click them on, you can record the track. Can you not just click them right, like take them off? Like if I send two tracks.
Let me just say something about that. Here's something that's very important to understand. So let's say you've got your guitar plugged into your pre, and your preamp out is going into the DAW, and you have a basic sound, but you say, you know what, I want to fuck around with a phaser, a chorus, and a flange in different moderations, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're all on a track. You have one channel strip for rhythm guitar 1, and you basically have this ability in the channel to say, save all my settings that are on this channel as a file. And you save it in your computer, and you call it Jim's Rhythm for Funkin' D, okay? And you save it as a file. You forward that file to Enzo by email, by Facebook, by fucking Dropbox, whatever. You forward it to him. And he copies it into his folder that he's got, and he can have your preset immediately with all of the EQ, this, whatever. And he can, boom, he sees it, and he can turn them all on or off. Without you recording it that way, you just basically, you send him the presets.
Right.
Then you turn off all the effects. You export the file. You send it to Enz.
Dry.
And he imports it dry. And adds your preset channels settings. And he opens it up and he's, okay. Oh, and he tweaks a little bit. He can save it and send it back to you and say, here's what I tried. Give it a shot.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to ask is do you need actually, so when we're recording the tracks, is it actually two inputs, say like two inputs into the Steinberg has two inputs, right? So
no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. If you want to.
Okay, well, I'm asking, but as a sort of, can I have one completely dry, bone dry, nothing on it, just there, and then one with the effects on it, so I'm playing, that's what I'm actually listening to. The other one I don't want to listen to. I don't want to listen to the dry one.
You could even do, you mic your amp.
With and then the preamp out, the line out.
No, you mic your amp, and then you can run with the goddamn thing I bought for bass there that I have to give the DI box. You can run your guitar dry, just your guitar, with nothing on it. Just your guitar, no amplification, on another track. A lot of people used to record like that. I personally,
depending on the dry signal from the DI and a preamp out, basically coming from the mic in front of your amp.
Right. I mean, but I'm just saying. But in my head, I'm thinking we want to have one dry track that we can fuck around with, and then you can always, in the beauty of the DAW, as I understand it, with the fucking this scintilla of info that I do know about it is I can copy that file like 15 times. I could have 15 tracks and put blue, red, burb, whatever, and add,
Exactly.
you know what, and then flush it or save it or
In the
whatever.
In the end, and this applies to all of us, all four of us, whatever gets sent to me to be dumped to me, it has to be not EQ, not post effect. You understand what I mean? It's got to be up to whatever coming out of your amp is great. Whatever's coming out of Steve's drums is great. Whatever Paul's singing is great. Whatever I'm playing, no problem. But no post, no EQ, because what you think sounds good, when it's mixed with everything else,
Yeah, no, you
fuck
need
everything up.
You got to have the raw material to fuck with.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you're
That's all it is.
exporting. You have a track, of waves. Your take one, let's say. Okay, take one is your final take, and at the very left of that, you've got the channel settings where you have your compression and flanger and all that stuff. Basically, what Ends needs is nothing here in your DAW. All of the sound needs to come from your amp.
Yeah.
And that's why he's trying to respect your choice of sound and say, yeah, the Jim sound, whatever you chose,
That's the one
record
constant
that.
of the Soulmasons.
Preamp out or with a mic in front of the cab. He'll tell you to put it a foot away or whatever. You can do all kinds of emulation and fucking weird shit in the DAW, but do it if you need to hear it. But when you send Enzo the track, turn all that shit off, and you're basically sending him whatever came out of your amp. That's it. Or your preamp. It's the raw track, as loud as possible so that the fucking wave is not peaking, but just enough. You're going to send that to Ends, and if you tried something, you say, Ends, I tried 5 or 6 effects. It sounds fucking wicked. Save that as a preset. It's like a file. Jim preset 1. You send him that file. Now he's going to have the raw recording and the preset, which he can add, and it doesn't change the raw file. It just he can, I see where you're going. Yeah. And then he's going to EQ it to match with the drums and the bass and whatever.
God, I love this shit. And you know what? And I'd say 9 out of 10 times what he's going to get from me is just the straight track, because that's all I play. But that's the way I want. Then he's going
the beauty of it.
What about that? Add some, I don't know, pig squealing sounds.
The whole beauty of this is that you have the option to do whatever. Like with Steve, I keep telling him, don't even think of EQing or mixing.
No, I'm not even going to touch that.
I have one idea where it's been in my head for like 30 years. I got to put phaser on those fucking drums. I got to put phaser on those drums somewhere. And it's like, I don't know if it's...
I told you.
Got to be a reverse gate.
I told you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give you raw tracks. Do the artwork. That's all I'm going to give you.
The artwork, I like that.
You do the artwork. I'm just going to supply you the beat and all that.
But going back to what the way Paul described the band lab, the guides, that's also a test bed for effects. Guys, what do you think about this and this? And you can upload it there.
That's what I'm going to do also.
So it's a test bed. Guide Lab is not only building your thing, it's a test bed before. Okay, you know what? What do you guys
That's funny. You just called it Guide Lab. That's perfect. It is Guide Lab.
Guide bed, yeah.
That's what it is.
It's true.
But you know what? I see Band Lab as our interactive canvas of where we fuck around. We create our guides there, but it's the interactive together where we get to see the colors on the canvas, and we get to move them around however we want, and we use that. We pull it back, but then as I understand the DAW, then there's where the real meat and potatoes is, and you do the real recording. And you still get to fuck around with it. We get to play around with it to creatively broaden our horizons and all these nice euphemisms, whatever. But ultimately, what goes to Ends is a straight track from whatever it is. Straight, Steve, your tracks to the mic from your drums recorded, mine, whether mic'd on the cab or straight out of the line out of the head.
There's so many opportunities for us to fuck around. It is amazing because we don't lose any creativity at any step. Building your guide track, you get all kinds of flexibility. Putting it on BandLab, Paul's not going to fucking staple you into anything. That's what I was talking about when we did that first experiment with From a Stone. I felt like I had to explain to you guys that we're not stapled into a version because so what? It could become a reggae song for all I fucking care. We just need to have that. Like, it's fun. It's not, oh, Paul's going to be fuck off, Paul thinks. Who cares? Doesn't matter. It's just, I have an idea, but then I realized I can't. What if Jim gives me a riff? And that's exactly what happened. Your Funkin' D or whatever. Yeah, it's the melon. I can't remember the name anymore. But your cool song that I put a lyric on, I can't play that. I'm not even going to try.
Nobody can fucking play that.
Nobody plays like Jim. But I want you to fucking experiment and go, yeah. Okay, I'll take your track and I'll fucking expand and here we go. What do you think of that?
But
hold on,
I do have a comment on that. Jim, the second version you did with all the other crap you did, just fucking flush it.
Well, it's a shame you say that because I actually, tonight before we started, I was actually early and free. Aiden was watching the end of some movie upstairs, so I came down. I said, "Okay, you don't want to go to bed now, right?" So I'll come down, and I came down. And I started playing. So I've been playing with that now. I don't know what that. I have to go back and listen to what I did, and I sort of have an idea of what I did, but it's morphing, right? It's morphing. I don't know where it's going, and maybe this very kind of. I mean, what you did with it, Paul, like you said, that kind of Led Zeppelin-ish kind of. I loved it. It was cool, and I sort of remember.
It was in the moment. It was
in the moment.
That's the beauty,
and that's exactly what it is. So then 5 minutes after I did that, and I think I recorded something else. I did it on my phone, and that's when it was in hyper mode. There were the chipmunks. So I don't know what the hell I did. It's history because you can't even. You can't do anything when I flushed it. Forget it. It's useless. But I have been playing with it. And so it is evolving, right? So it's not what it was, but I can go back and figure out what I did, and we can cut it in pieces. But there are things. Tonight when I played for about 20 minutes before we got going, it's evolved already. So who knows? It may be a different song. I don't know. Anyway,
but can I make a suggestion to you, Jim? Just to I'm gonna put it out there. Now that you've got a DAW, you've never used a DAW. You know what it's all about, but when you start to become familiar enough, like forget all the buttons at the top and the fucking, it's intimidating. It's very intimidating. Cubase to me is a great beginner's DAW because it's like a video game. Click there. There's 5 things to click, and that's it. And it's big, bright fucking pastel colors, and you feel like, I'm playing Mario Brothers. And then when you get into Cakewalk, when you got seasoned bitches like us. Look, all 3 of us, sorry, man, you're the outcast here because we've all fucked around with ancient technology to tracking to new software and all. So we're all very familiar with it and comfortable, and these buttons don't daunt us. But listen, you're a very smart man. You're going to figure it out, but don't worry about the buttons. Just get in the habit of track 1, track 2, get the sound in. That's it. Because your idea, in F, and D, whatever, you're going to think of a name for it. Brainchild ABC. That's the song that has yet to come out of your idea. You're playing something, and it's on Tuesday. It sounds like this. So you open that project called Song ABC, and you record track 1. It doesn't have to be in sync with the other tracks. It's just version 2. And then you mute it, and then you record version 2 and version 3, and then you can go back 6 months ago. Oh, wow, version 1 was this. I'm never doing that again. Or, wow, yeah, that's where I was going with it. Fuck, I forgot. It's all in the same... Nothing happened on BandLab. Nobody got a chance to bastardize it or fuck around with it or do anything. You're playing with your own idea, and you say, you don't remember what you had for lunch. Trust me. I've suffered for that problem for 47 years. I don't fucking remember anything. If it wasn't for iPhone, I had no idea what I'm supposed to do tomorrow, So that's where the DAW comes in. You need to scratch pad it in a way that's comfortable for you and change the pattern so that you, I'm plugging into the DAW and record it. Instead of Facebook, inspire us. Put stuff on Facebook, but put it in the DAW first. Because your ideas, Jim, they're the most brilliant fucking things And it's a shame. It's a fucking shame when that is lost. It's such a shame. Like, I could cry to think of all the ideas that I never heard you play. And it sucks that we don't get a chance to hear that. So make an archive of your stuff, because, man, it is gold. And if we don't hear it, at least you can remind yourself, oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Well,
I'll do something with that.
Well,
and I was thinking about that, and not to cut you off, but I was going to say I'll record it in the DAW, and I do appreciate the concept of whatever it's, and I'm thinking of the name, Open D Half Baked, I think is what I called it, right?
Yes, that's it.
So Open D Half Baked is, so I have, and I do this, again, I spend too much time working, but I know it, but I relate it to the way that I work. When I'm writing a document to JT there, right? So I start and I write it. So basically I start, it's over the course of 2 weeks. And so I write it today. So I use today's date. So I got the same name, but this date. Then when I write, and then I'm halfway through the day, well, hits the date 0.5, whatever, because, and I just, they're iterations, right? Same shit. And it's in the folder, same folder, this project, and that's exactly what you're talking about. And so I clearly get that. But what I will do at the same time, as you say, without sharing the whole, I suppose I could do that too, share the whole folder, and you can all listen to, all 17 versions of the same thing with, they're all, totally different, is I record it on the phone anyway and post that shit. Whatever the one is, every time, as I'm doing it, recording it in the DAW, but record it on the phone too, because for me, sometimes the visual, okay, I don't remember. Listen, I don't know what the fuck I was playing. Oh, that's what he was playing.
That's why I use the Facebook shit too, because sometimes it is that. It's like, okay, that's fine.
You know which position you're in. If you you start the video with, it's an open tuning A B Q Z4. Okay, perfect. Done.
Yeah,
I don't
so a mix of the two, and but yes, I fully appreciate what you're saying. I started. I got an idea. Okay, and just keep adding on. I can add 52 tracks, and number 2, 42, and 52 are the best, and they take this, and as I get used to it, it looks scary, yes, it definitely does, but with the help of you three, tweakers, I'm sure I'll
we're all
figure
in
it
cakewalk now, and dream come true, bro.
Fucking awesome.
You've been saying that from the start, man. Why don't you guys use Cubase? Cakewalk. No, Cubase. Fucking
You know what's funny, Paul? The way you describe Cubase is exactly what I remember of why I hated everything. Because it is the Mario Brothers. What the fuck is this?
It's at one point though, Cakewalk must have had something that irked me, because I have tried it. I remember it. It's one of the first DAWs I ever tried.
I think if I
must
remember
have been 2000? Fuck, I don't know. It's
around
like 15 years ago. I'm talking 15 years ago.
To me, back then,
I remember what happened. I know that I loaded Cakewalk when I had my first MacBook Pro, and I loaded Logic. I bought Logic for whatever, $750 or whatever it was. And I knew at that moment that I had to be a Mac guy, because I had spent a year and a half or two using Cubase, hacked version of Cubase, and at the time it was pretty good. But it's funny, it looks exactly the same now as it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I got a Mac because I was so pissed off at using the PC. So I became a Logic Pro user or whatever.
Hold on.
That's why I avoided doing all the PC shit. And I used it for 10 years. And then when I came back, I'm like, I'm going to go back to Cubase because it's, what I'm used to. No.
But how did you find, because I came very close to going with Logic Pro also. And I can't remember why I decided not to. I think it was because of the Mac Pro at $4,000. But
well, okay. Keep in mind that 12, 13 years ago, Logic had a major update that they changed the way that it worked.
Yeah.
So significantly that it was like they had something called the environment. There was a module in there called the environment. You could do so much shit. It was very powerful, and it was a cool feature that nobody would ever use, but it was a good draw. Like you felt like, one day I'm going to use this, and nobody used it. And they didn't change the program for 10 years, for 12 years. Yeah. And everything else was evolving. Even Cubase got a little bit better and a little bit friendlier and more reliable. But Cakewalk. I had not tried it. I had not even touched it. Fucking Cakewalk. It's a joke. It ain't no joke. It is fucking so tight and powerful, and everything is. You know what it is? Over something. If you hover your mouse over a thing, there's a little help thing. It tells you what it does, just in case you forgot. Yeah. That's what's.
I've been using it for 14 years, man. It's just ease of operation. That's all it is.
No, but you know what? What I find, like Paul was saying, the gym is going to be a little bit lost. I don't think so, because it's when you look at it, it's like, oh, I actually have a mixer in front of me. You know, right there. There's that familiarity to it. You know, like you're like, oh, okay. It doesn't look like a fucking video game or a super high computer program or a goddamn. You know, it has that sort of vintage feel to it, but it's not. So
it's very cool. Yeah. It is absolutely perfect. It is everything that I ever wanted in a DAW, and I'm sad that I haven't been using it since longer, because honestly, I mean, I'm going to share. I can't do it from the iPad. That's what I was trying to do. I recorded one of my own, and I want to share it with all you guys just to hear how excited I am, because I have never done that with one of my own originals in fucking 5 years. And when I got the Steinberg, and it came with Cubase, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be so exciting. Whatever. You know, I started doing covers. Anyway.
So when I get to Steinberg with Cubase, should I just load it up and to sort of see what I don't want to see?
Okay, I'll tell you what I like about Cubase. The one thing that is cool about the Steinberg 2-channel input, Mark II, whatever, is that you can use it on an iPad. And
yeah, that is cool.
The jack that you use to charge your iPad, it's whatever.
Lightning.
Not a FireWire. Lightning jack. Thank you. So they sell this adapter, Jim, that you can get. Don't buy it, but if ever you wanted to, you can get a lightning jack adapter. It poops out into this little plastic contraption with 2 outputs. One of them goes to the Mark 22 to be able to control it and be the sound card for the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back of the Mark 22, there's a switch. Because normally it's USB powered from your laptop. Okay. But if you do it from your iPad, it's going into this USB jack. You have to go pop it over and plug it in using a weird USB out. It goes to a plug. So it's like this to the sound card and the sound card to a plug, as opposed to the sound card powered by your laptop.
All right.
That is fucking cool, because then this becomes your recording
which is
computer.
Cool. Yeah.
Take your fucking sound card and your iPad and go to the lake and record an album, like that is fucking cool. And the interface on the iPad is actually quite tight. It's really, really nice.
Is that just for the iPad or for other tablets too? Do you know?
I don't know. I am sure you could probably fandangle it, but I don't think it's done just for Mac. Like there's a Mac version.
The only reason I ask is because
control for even for Scarlet.
Speaking of the mic, there ends.
I believe that there's a control even for the Scarlet shit. That there's an app for iPad. I think they're getting into that too. Everybody's gonna get into it.
Yeah,
totally.
Because like
it's really powerful.
And you don't have to carry your fucking 14 pound and my speakers and you grab an iPad in it. Let's go.
Can you imagine? You got a fucking little road case, like literally the size of it's a makeup case. You fucking put your iPad mini and the Mark II is smaller than this. It takes up like this. Roll up a wire really tight and you get a camera case. You go fucking record anywhere you want. So literally, I mean, it's an idea, fucking little egg that you can bring around with you. So for that, it's fucking cool. And they call it it's Cubase AI or IA or something like that.
Yeah.
But it comes with the thing. Like you have both versions. You can install it on your iPad or on your laptop or both. And it's not exclusive. You can use them both. It's no problem. Well, you need to get that fucking weirdo adapter if you want to use it.
Well, what's the point? If I have the DAW, the Mark 22, and I get this, my Toshiba Satellite Pro here, which is a little big, and I'm getting a bad, herniated disc, humping it around when I go for work. But one of the reasons why I'll have a new laptop, and I don't know when the fucker's coming, but apparently it's going to be ultra teeny tiny so that I can travel with it, but at home I'll dock it and have a bigger screen or whatever, apparently. But it's not going to be, I'm supposed to have an iPad separately. So that's why it's good to know. So you know what? If I don't have the iPad separately, it turns into, apparently, the laptop I'm getting will turn into a tablet. You know, the ones you can break apart or whatever. I don't want a Surface because we already have one of those, and I curse the fucker. But
before you buy your Mark 22 or your Steinberg, here's the thing: is that to me the big sell, and I'm sorry, I don't want to fucking deflate, but up until this point, I was a Cubase guy. So in my head, and Enzo's too, he was like, at least Paul and Jim, we can talk and collaborate on how to use Cubase. We all have the DAW now. Like it's a done deal. We don't worry about it anymore. Yeah. We're gonna teach you everything you need to know about using, Cakewalk.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is there a different interface that you would feel more comfortable using, or that either of you guys can suggest? Because who knows, maybe there's a better one for you out there instead of.
What's the price on the Steinbrenner? It's Steinbrenner.
$179. $179.
What's the latency? Did you check up the latency on it?
The fuck do I know, Lance? Okay, well why don't we do that? Because I'm going tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna go buy it. If it's not the right one,
there
are other ones. The only
it doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter what you get. Oh, sorry, I don't want to put doubts. All I mean to say, all right, is that the Steinberg is a 2-channel input with balanced outputs to go to your monitors, whatever monitors you're using. And if you don't have monitors and you just got PC speakers, that's fine. Yeah. But maybe, and Ends chime in here, would 4 inputs be better for him? You know what I'm saying?
Is he really going to use 4 at a time?
Well,
no, I've never used it.
Okay, let me put it to you
this
way.
You're special, Ends.
Let's say you get the Steinberg tomorrow, Jim.
Yep.
You got 2 ends, which is more than enough for now. Absolutely more than enough. And it could be more than enough forever, unless you decide that you want to record line out, cab front, cab back.
Right.
That's 3. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be realistic here, because as the lead guitarist, with sound being fucking important, wouldn't it be cool to prepare for the worst, of when Enzo becomes your biggest nightmare and saying, you need to capture the 4 feet away from the back of your cab. I'm just trying to think about...
Well, how about this?
The quality, Enzo, you remember we were talking about remixing Guitar Case Stories? Yeah. We're there. Okay, so we're creating the best possible album.
So, to answer your question, Ends, where am I going to find this shit? It says 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, USB 2 Class A preamps, latency-free hardware monitoring. Where am I looking for the specs here, Ends?
So, no, I'm using it, and there is no latency.
Okay.
All right, for you. It's just that what you're going to have when you plug into your preamp, and you have a preamp out, a wire going from your amp, but it's the preamp out. It's just getting the sound, everything about your sound before being amplified to 200 watts. And it's taking that and it's plugged right into line 1 of your Steinberg interface. You're recording that. You adjust the gain so that it doesn't peak. You're good. That's it. End of story.
Then I got one other input.
As soon as you plug in, you're looking at your DAW and you're playing and you see the level and everything is good, and you say, I'd like to add a little bit of chorus in the DAW, right? And you add the chorus effect or the plug-in or whatever, and you play, and you only hear the chorus a quarter of a second later. That's the problem. You're going to have that. It is going to happen. It's latency because of the DAW. It has nothing to do with anything. It's your computer, your RAM, whatever. It happens. So you have to be prepared for that. Just have to...
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So you're saying, you're asking Enzo, so what if for the future where I want to have like 3 mics on the cab, 1 in the back, 1 further out, 1 whatever, plus the line out. So I need 4, right? Could I, instead of buying a 4 input interface, could I buy the same one that you have, the 2 input, and then when I want 4, well, Paul, I'll blow down to your place and I'll borrow yours for a month. All right, buy a second one, and I just plug the 2 of them in.
Yep, you could.
Okay,
Or you could go
so
to
I don't
Steve's
need to buy
and
a
record at his place.
16 input or whatever. I could just add another one if I wanted to. Obviously,
you
I
record at
got to
Steve's.
or borrow Steve's or whatever. Come over and do that kind of thing, and I can add that into the input into the computer through a second USB.
Just get that
input.
tomorrow. Just go get it. Don't worry
So
about it.
daisy chaining 2-channel inputs is possible, but not worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth your gas to come to Enzo's house or Steve's house to just record in an interface that's ready. That's it. The one time that you need it, you know.
Yeah, well, there. I'm not crapping my pants about it. I'm just thinking, you know. But to your question, should I just go get a 4-input one right away? I don't even know Chabot here. I mean, this is not like major. You know, like they got this. It came in the.
They have a French horn at the front door.
They have a what?
A French horn. Is that what that kind of Archambault is? Yeah. Jim, you don't. You just need the 2. You just need the 2 input. That's all you need.
Hey, I just want to say, I want to change subject. I watched a little bit of last week. Okay, and there's one point where Jim says, "DEFCON Caca 5," and Steve falls out of his bed. It's a moment, fucking hilarity.
DEFCON Caca 5? What the fuck?
Something like that. And this guy just fucking. I mean, whatever I was doing doesn't count because I was fucking.
Yeah, you were the host.
I was the host.
You know, I vaguely remember that moment. I vaguely remember that moment.
Well, I remember
I remember because Steve fell out of his bed, and I remember laughing.
Exactly. So you guys have to go find it. It happens like halfway through or 3/4 through. It's just.
I remember saying it, but I don't remember in what context and why. But
because you guys were making fun of me and Ken. That's all it was. But
that what was happening?
It was.
Well, yeah, it was pretty rich.
I had to interject that one because I just have that vivid shot of Steve cracking up. I just.
Well, you know what? It was. We always get our laughs here and there, right? You got
absolutely.
What was the other thing? What the fuck? It was Paul. It was you. What did you call it? Look at them. What did you say?
Oh, what? A maniac?
No.
Hey.
It's. I can't remember. It was a word you used, and I was like, I fucking like.
I should go watch some of this stuff. Well, mind you, I got all kinds of crap I got to watch that I don't get to watch. Listen to videos and music.
Some of our stuff is quite interesting.
I'm sure
it is. Stuff is pretty entertaining, man.
Well, Steve's brothers went and watched it thinking he's going to watch music. Did they actually watch a little more of it when they realized there's no music? Wow, what are these fucking trailer park idiots doing?
Okay.
And I don't watch it, so I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I don't watch it either.
Okay, so Paul, you're supposed to give me my marching orders for the guide for the vibe. What am I doing?
So basically, there are no marching orders. There's nothing to do because now it's my job to take what you did and track it out. It's exactly what happened with From Stone. Here's version 1. And then everyone gets to peck away at it. Nope. And it becomes a reggae fucking death mariachi ballad. All right. No problem.
By the way,
version 2.
We did have a little bit of progress on From a Stone. When me and Steve jammed on it, we're like sort of thinking maybe it should stay acoustic guitar with interludes of electric instead of going full electric.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sort of, because there's, I think, I don't know, and you guys, I'm going to try and put one up on Band Lab, or whatever, Guide Lab, whatever we're calling it. I'm going to put up another one on it. where I'm sort of integrating again what you did, Paul, what I used to do, and because before tonight I actually tuned my 12 string, okay, because I was on board for Lady, you fuckers. But anyway, so I was trying something on that. I'm like, I think that's the missing. So I'll drop something on that.
Well,
So
when you start talking about doing, when you mentioned saying doing acoustically, yes, too many ideas popping out. The first thing that came to my head was 12 string, right?
It doesn't work for that song.
No,
it doesn't. No.
All right.
Just think of this, okay? From a Stone, this is the epitome of From a Stone. That solo part. Just that's an acoustic guitar with a lead going on. Just that's the song, right there. Get the vibe from that the solo part where you're chunking and there's those and the 12 string doesn't sound right in there. I tried. Trust me, I tried.
Okay.
Trust me, tried.
Okay, so
I'll do it if you want me.
So sorry.
Off-topic interjection. Now that we're all DAW experts. Every single time that you plug in, whether it's BandLab or Cakewalk, when you get used to it, Jim, you'll see there's a way to quickly get the tuner. Every single time that you record, I mean, not every fucking track, but like every time that you log in to Cakewalk or BandLab, they both have, like within 2 clicks, you got a tuner. Just always. You
Actually,
guys,
sir, I've never even noticed it. It's there in Cakewalk?
Yeah, there's a tuner there.
Absolutely. It's part of the amp simulator.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter if you have no settings in, like no amps or cabs or pedals chosen. Up at the top, boom, click tuner. I forget to do it, and I'm playing. Oh fuck, I'm flat. Like really flat.
It actually tells you you're an idiot as you're playing.
Right. It's funny.
Well, you know what? I do like that idea because as I'm playing, sometimes you can hear you're starting to go off, but with short like on my guitar, the tuner is it's a headstock tuner now, right?
It's right there. It's 2 clicks, and when you get familiar with it, you're done. And it's important for all the rest of us to be able to collaborate. And even if it's a drop D, like okay, well everyone's drop D, right? All exactly 1/2 step down. Open tunings, I mean, we all have them, so that's easy because it doesn't care if you're E, A, D, G, B. It just said, okay, you're B flat. That's what the string is.
Yep.
So tune up every time you log in before you start creating. If you whatever.
Well, often, I mean, mind you, I probably got to take my guitars and have them intonated properly, but. That open D thing, after I play, like there's a few things. I was playing in fingerstyle, right? Well, part of the morphing was tonight I was playing with a pick. So I'm picking it. I'm doing different stuff. But I was using my hard pick as opposed to one of these kind of acoustic soft picks. So after I'm playing for about 5 minutes, starting to go the low D is kind of going right? And I'm like, I can hear it. I'm like, no, this is not cool because I'm really strumming pretty hard. And then I bring it back up. It's not terrible, but in a recording, it would not be cool. So,
But look, if you're in BandLab and you're just farting around, or in your DAW and you know that you're just going to upload whatever you did, it doesn't really fucking matter. I mean, the first 3 or 4 or 5 takes, they're all going to be just experiments. And until we get to the point where, okay, we got a structure going. That's all it is. It's getting a structure. I can mumble the same verse 3 times just to get the flow of the song. I don't have to have the fucking lyrics. Steve says, I'll work on a chorus. I'll get it to you next week. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just mumble some shit out. And boom, we got a guide track. Done. And the vocals get finished after the fact, It can totally happen that way. Out of tune guide track. All of that.
Good guys.
But it's just, if you think of it, it's there. It's easy. It's a click. And if you can't find it, I found it today. I forced myself to find it.
Well, I heard you before when I was off. I muted my mic, but I did notice that wherever you hover in that bottom right hand corner, it has that little help field, and it reminds you. I'm like, oh, look at this shit. Everywhere I go, it doesn't just pop up a little dialogue box right there. It's got this big fat dialogue box. That
I mean, there's
wherever
sometimes you
you are.
pull your hair like, where the fuck is this? But
Yeah, no, it gives you like a half decent
there's
box. So yeah, I mean, I'll fart around with it. Maybe tonight, maybe
Google
not.
everything.
But
it's fucking great. Yeah, you Google it. You're there in a second. It's like, how do I find this? Done. It's awesome.
well, gentlemen, I don't want to preclude tonight's festivities, but I was up particularly early this morning, and I'm going to be up early tomorrow morning. So I'm going to say goodnight. And, I installed Cakewalk, so I figure I get a pass to leave.
Yeah, you need
Go
some
to
sleep.
bed.
I'm going to bed too because I got up pretty early this morning too. For 5:30, I was at the shop at 6. So I think it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah.
Good night, gents.
Fucking pussy.
I'm up for a while if you want.
Go have
Yeah,
yourself a bowl of
maybe a
Fruit
pussy, but I don't have diarrhea, so anyway.
Diarrhea. Okay.
Diarrhea.
I diarrhea.
I diarrhea.
I
I'm telling you, we're gonna
digress.
copyright that. I gotta get a T-shirt. I diarrhea.
I diarrhea.
Okay, what the fuck? Get away! I don't want that.
So wait, before you two sign off.
Haha, you don't know what that means. I love it.
It's a new Apple product. I diarrhea.
Yeah.
Wait, before you
The
two
new
sign off,
diarrhea phone.
so tomorrow, Steve, you're there all day, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna get in contact with Paul when you check out your thing to see if
He's
you want
gonna
him to
get
cut it?
update what's going on,
Okay.
and so will you.
I'm
Well,
migrating to the truck.
I gotta figure out actually how do you get notifications from fucking Ass Lab?
You have to go. Well,
You gotta
let me
just
tell
go
you
set it
about
up. man.
FanLab and my email. They became very good friends, and they love each other very much to the point where one song that comes on repeats itself 6 times on my email. So don't worry, I get the notification. They
No,
just
I
remind
want
you.
to know how.
Yeah, but ends. If you
No,
have
you
it
don't.
loaded on
Because
your
it's fucking
phone,
annoying.
if you have it loaded on your phone, if you stay logged into it like anything else,
No, I didn't load it on my phone. I just go, I'll Google it and go get it on my phone. But I didn't download
okay.
it.
I added the
Put
app.
it this
work
way.
for me.
Put it this way. When you guys posted something new musically, Outlook made me make sure that I knew it 6 times over.
Okay.
It's the same fucking song. Why are you telling me 6 times? I didn't tell anybody to tell me 6 times. So I'm like, the same song. I'm like, lady, guy track. And it's all the same one. Why are you telling me 6 times for? So don't worry. I'm totally about everything. Is it official?
That's fucked up.
In the notification.
I wouldn't worry about it. I think it just every time somebody maybe goes in or out or whatever, it sends you a notice. But as long as you log out, you don't get the notifications after that, right? I mean, I sign out of most of the shit because of my stupid package, and I don't have all kinds of data and this and that. So I don't know whether it does or doesn't. So I sign out. But when you sign in, if you stay signed into it, you're at home or whatever, you're on Wi-Fi. Stay signed in. It'll give you whatever.
Yeah.
Outlook owns BandLab owns Sonar. Yeah, okay. That's how fucked up it looks to me.
All right, you guys go get some fucking shut eye.
Yes,
We'll leave you two alone.
yes.
In a romantic room.
There you go. All right,
Oh, we're not going to be on
Hey,
for long.
guys.
You guys don't have to watch.
Oh, it won't be a long night. That's for
No,
sure.
that's
Congratulations,
okay. That's fine.
Jimbo, on your new acquisition. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I'll let you guys know when I
Finally
got something to plug into tomorrow. Woo!
That's right. And fucking swear at for around 3 days.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know what's going on. All right.
It's better than swearing at stop signs.
Probably. Yeah. I'll let you know.
Piece of bonito. All right, guys. Good night.
Night, boy.
Good night, guys.
Uh,
See you in the funny pages.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Oh, shit.
Fucking A. Wow. Jim has a duh. Who knew? Anything is possible.
This is all you, man. Actually figuring it out.
Well, I don't know if it's all me. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It really just, it's motivation, like,
Well, yes, that's true, but you know what I mean.
I was
A whole day on
just
it.
I was surprised because the band lab was not like, what the fuck? You know what it kind of ticked me off, not ticked me off, but it irked me a bit. I'm like, no, there's something up with this. Band lab is not what came of that merger or that sale or whatever. Band lab is just a fucking social tool. So what the fuck is it? So I went back and I looked, and when I Googled it, what I'm turned off when I do a search on Google, and the first 3 hits, I don't know if you noticed, but whenever it's an ad, it says AD, just tiny little box, AD, ad. And the first hit that I got when you told me, the very first time you told us, and I went and searched for Sonar Platinum Free. And the first 4 things that came up were ads, AD. But what I didn't realize is that the first one was actually legit. But I ignored it, and I scrolled down. I look at the URLs. I look at bandlab.com. I'm like, okay, there. That's a legit one. And so I went there first and installed. And when I saw the little pop-up where Jim used to download Cakewalk,
Yeah.
like, this is okay. I don't want a fucking chat program. This is bullshit. So I completely ignored all of the fucking clear signs. And I wasn't ignoring what you'd said, but I just like, okay, it's just whatever. They bought fucking company and made a chat program. So then I went back. I'm like, no, this is wrong. I went back, and that ad was actually the article. So I'm like, okay, it's a legit thing. I got to go to that website. And then it gave instructions on how to do it. Oh, fuck, the thing I ignored. The fucking little the pop-up. That's where you download the goddamn fucking Cakewalk.
No, but it's going to make such a difference with all 4 of us running the same shit. It's going to be
so hot. This is the fucking what we dreamed of, you know? I mean, we could never have done this with an ADAT and, any kind of whatever ancient technology that we would have done, despite all your abilities and all your energy and your passion. It could never be this. It's Steve's recording fucking kick-ass quality drum tracks on his homemade drum set. Okay, that's stellar. And Jim downloaded a DAW.
No, but you know what kills me about it? Actually worrying about, okay, I have to put just don't worry about it. Just fucking go.
No. It's either exciting for somebody or it's not. And if all of the 3 of us are excited about using a DAW and have been for decades, I have a feeling Jim's gonna find some soupçon of excitement from it.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna start playing with it a little bit. Here, oh wow, cool. Oh, you could do that. You could do because when he's just listening to a guitar, but when he starts to bring in the guides,
yeah,
and then he gets. I'm playing with them. Even though we're not in the same room, I'm playing with them.
Yeah.
It's going to start to set him off. I can start doing this. I can start doing this. Like, for me, it's always about playing with those drums. It takes somewhere else, right? But then that's one part. But then when I hear you sing, it's like, okay. you know
that's exactly it. When we get the 4 of us in a virtual room, like just chatting, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We're about to do that in a DAW. Like we're gonna have that. We're gonna have it's about to happen. Like next week, if that's when it starts. And to me, like it was so obvious. Like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, fuck! Of course, we all need to use Cakewalk. It's so obvious. We need to use the same software. It doesn't matter. Like in 10 years, you could use Pro Tools and I could use fucking whatever. But right now, today, we're all cutting our teeth. It's brand new. It's the baby steps. So we need to chew on the same bone. And the fucking 16 inputs on Steve's homemade kit, that blows my mind. I can't wait to play with that. Like, I want to jam with Steve in the DAW, send back a bass track.
But he doesn't have 16 mics, so I don't know what he's going to do.
He's fucking... It's just the call and answer that we're about to create, like, it's only been you and me up until, very, very recently.
Come on.
It's been you putting a guide track on BandLab. I mean, that's the best that we've had. Before that, it was all Dropbox, and it's really hard to navigate Dropbox. It's so uninspiring, right? To go to this blank white page and click on a file and like, oh, fuck, I got nothing. It's hard to be motivated. It's hard to be pumped about a Dropbox track. And that sucks because you put so much effort into that. And the same thing for your Facebook stuff. You put so much effort into your Facebook videos, and yet, like, which one? And you got to scroll down because, oh, there's a picture of my cousin, and there's whatever.
Oh, by the way,
get to the track, you know.
I did do. What was I supposed to do? Library it, whatever. Jim wanted me to. You can't do it.
What's that?
I was supposed to make folders and put them. Remember on the.
Oh no, you
room?
can't. I realized that too because I logged in myself to my own. That's how I shared a couple of files with you. Because you ran out of space for the videos. I'm like, I'm going to log in and use mine. I'm like, fuck. It's very stark. It's for sharing one file to your grandmother, you know, because she wants to see pictures of your fucking grandkids.
And the other
That's
thing
all it's good for.
Remember I said From a Stone, because we have those videos, first one I did, the one you did, we want to keep them to post, right? I actually downloaded my video, but it won't let me download yours. You have to go download your video.
Sorry. Okay. Which video? Hold on. I'm not following.
From a Stone. Remember I posted the original one.
Yeah.
You did your acoustic one. You put a video on Facebook of you doing it.
Right.
And I said, we have to save these because that's how we're going to say, this is how we wrote a song. Right. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. We'll do another video, another one, you know?
Yeah. I
downloaded my version. It won't let me download the one you posted.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably a thing of my settings. Like, I got a fucking setting somewhere in the fucking bowels of Facebook.
But it's the green room.
That's weird.
So try it for fun when you get a chance. Go try and download mine.
Yeah.
Go download yours because eventually we'll post it to the real page with the jam, the whatever, the behind the scene, you know? Like it's the first one, you know?
The good thing about that, good thing, I don't know. I mean, personally, all the shit that I do on my phone, on my iPads, any video that I've ever done, in fact, posted on Facebook, whatever, I have the original somewhere. It's all archived. I got a flash drive that I save everything. So when needed, I have a video of everything. I have a copy of all the videos that I've ever done. But you know what? That's going to be the next chapter. When we get this recording rotation going in the workflow, I mean, we're going to have a video rotation of some sort for, social media and all that stuff. And the schedule, the guys aren't ready for it yet, but we're there. I mean,
Well, look, has Jim posted on Instagram? No.
I know. And I mean, look, after the breakup, Saga has meandered into something a little bit more manageable. I mean, I haven't posted an Impulsive Culinarian or a GTFU or a TiVo Music because I don't have it. But how amazing was it for me to spend all day in a DAW? I haven't done that in fucking years. And I exploded into that stuff.
I was going to fucking go, why are you not at work? What the fuck? What's he doing? He's like, it's too early. Holy shit. But I was laughing. I was like, listening to it. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. He's going for it. He's fucking going for it. Diggity.
Yep.
Diggity. Where did that come from?
Just fucking craziness. No, I love Cakewalk. I'm telling you, Cakewalk is.
No, but that was, wait. That wasn't Cakewalk. That was Band Lab, no?
Yeah, no, okay, you're right. I mean, I worked from home one day. What was it? Wednesday, I guess. It was Wednesday. Maybe Thursday. Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah.
Can't remember.
And I'm at work.
I was so pissed off. I was like, "Fuck you, Band Lab, you cunt! I'm gonna figure you out." And so, because in my mind, this is pre-Cakewalk. I'm thinking, this is our tool. We have to use this. Is Steve's going to record 18 tracks in BandLab. This is what I was thinking, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the guinea pig. And I know you're self-admittedly issues with tempo is certainly like, that's okay. I don't want that to be a problem. I don't want to have to worry about fucking tempo. Like, who cares? That's not the fucking point, to be the best tempo people. We just need a fucking song to be finished.
Yeah.
I am absolutely, I'm a Nazi when it comes to tempo. I'm all about that. And you're a Nazi when it comes to mixing. Like, it's perfect. Yeah, excellent. I'll do my part. I'll be the gatekeeper at the start. And then only the good shit gets through. The fucking gold gets through. And then you get the gold and you're like, no, it ain't gold, buddy. It's fucking copper. Send it back.
Send it
back. Come on. Do it again. Oh. And if they're using BandLab, and the tempo's off and fuck.
You know, I couldn't even change it. I couldn't even change the tempo in BandLab. I was like trying to fix late. I'm like, what the fuck? Why won't it let me change it? That's why I was so
I fucked around with it, and originally my monologue tonight was going to be about how to use BandLab because I figured it out, and then I realized that I got cakewalk. I'm like, no, I wrote my script. I'm like, no, fuck BandLab. However, it's got its point. So we all use the DAWs and upload final product. I've got BandLab down now. I figured it out. I know exactly what to do with BandLab, but it should never be a recording tool. It should only be an importing tool. Don't touch. Just fucking import it. One track, 5 max. Never choose the multi-track option. Never. Never. And don't let it modify shit, and we're going to be saved. So that all we have to do is just listen to it. And you can, on your phone, you're like, oh, yeah. Fuck, Steve recorded a new track. That's what it's about. It's Facebook for fucking DAW junkies. That's all it is.
The first thing I did, you want to laugh, the first thing I did is I ordered an adapter, a Lightning to a 1/8, because I actually changed the radio in my truck, so it has a 1/8 input.
Right.
So everything that's on the phone, I can play it through the truck. So that's what I'm listening. Like, oh, this sounds good. Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah. But that's fun. I didn't talk about BandLab because I'm like,
yeah, it's annoying. It's very annoying.
Fuck.
Absolutely frustrating. I agree.
I couldn't. I was trying to record. The first thing I tried to record was something to go over what you the drop D, whatever I'm calling it. I had an idea. I liked what you did on. I don't remember which track it was you added. You did 2. There's one of them. I go, oh, that's cool. I came up with something to go with you under Jim.
Right.
I would lose the vocals. I'd lose the. Oh, fuck this. Fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it.
I know.
Helping now.
Yeah.
I'll record.
I had the same problem.
That's it. So I record in the other one and then upload, like you said. That's it. No more.
Yeah.
That's why I was worried about Steve, because I didn't realize that he had gone and get the other one. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing in there?
Me neither. I had no idea. I only found out yesterday, right, when we were chatting, and I'm like, oh, you got it already. He's like, guys, I uploaded last week. I've been using it.
And I went back to our thread, and I had said it, and Steve says, okay, I'll check it out tomorrow. But then he didn't say, so I'm like, okay, good, he's on that,
Right.
No.
We're learning. But I'm taking you with me. We're going to take a piss. Sorry in advance. I won't show you the details. But it's got to be done. Too many beers.
Yeah, I had my 1 rum and Coke, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, so BandLab, I've got it sorted out now that, let's say when you post, doesn't matter what you post for From a Stone or Funkin' D or any of that stuff, and you've got a riff going and you love it, and you're like, just jam. Don't think about tempo. Don't do a click. Just pop. So you can pull some great ideas. That's awesome. I need that because I need to have the. Yeah,
no.
Now you can hear me. Sorry about that. I'm yapping and you're like, you're not going through, but sorry about that. I gotta get back in my truck to plug in, or else I lose the juice.
Oh, it's
Okay.
cool, yeah. That's why I came in.
Sorry about that. My fancy fucking claw. There we go. We'll plug this in. Okay. Can you hear me now, Ed?
Yep, perfect.
All right. Perfect. So I would just love for you to be able to record any idea without worrying about a click. Like, doesn't matter if you're in your DAW or in BandLab. You're just like, and plug in a mic if you want to, so that you can get some vocal ideas. Just, let it go.
For the vibe. For me, it's easy. I'm playing, and I had the mic going at the same time the guitar is inputted, right? What threw me off on that one is because I've never figured out where to go at that stage. So I kind of, oops. That's why I dropped off the time on the second verse, or whatever it is, the second verse. There's something there that always screws me up. Yeah. So I just play it. And then I'll put down like that vocal, and let it go.
And you shouldn't have to worry about that. That's the whole point. Like, I don't want any of you guys to worry about that. When Steve finally figures out how to write a song or a melody, whatever, he uses a fucking zither or a fucking harmonica. I don't fucking care. Kazoo, just let him go. Out of key is going to be the new problem for him. Instead of a G, it's just going to be a note. Yeah. And it's going to be, all right, we'll fix that.
Exactly. It's exactly that. It's like the same thing with Jim. Jim, don't worry about your sound. Don't just fucking play. Be creative. Don't worry about it.
If I can figure out a way now with the DAW, so I'll take any idea that goes up on the BandLab. Doesn't matter what. It could be a fart, followed by a burp, followed by a bunch of melody, whatever. And I'll take it, put it in the DAW, and fuck around with time compress and all right, I'll fit everything together, and I'll copy-paste things so that it can become a repeat of the verse, and I'll maybe add a little bridge just because it needs something, and then, boom. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, like the last week, that's it. That was the experiment. Drop the two verses. That was what I did with A minor D funk, right? Put in just 2 verses. So yeah. That's one we could work. You could do it. But I mean,
there's a lot of powerful stuff there. As soon as we get into that habit, it's just going to be easy to say, yeah, okay. It should be easy to say, no, I don't like that. That's the whole point. That's all I want. For people to say, no, I don't like that. Let's do this. And then, you know what? Back to the drawing board. Whoever created the idea can go back and say, no, I'll come back with something better. Like Jim's doing with his fucking crazy thing. I mean, who knows what it's going to turn into.
No, but the beauty of this is, because, Paul, I'm so used to it with him, he'll forget. Now he can't forget. He can't.
Yeah.
For me, that moment happened to me, too, when I got the iPhone. That sort of, like, pushed me like, oh, fuck, I don't have to run to my tape deck anymore.
Right, yeah.
Voice recording, it's there. Oh, fuck, video recording, I can watch my fucking fat fingers, so where are they, you know?
Yeah.
It crystallized music for me in a way that I never thought about before, because before it was literally, come here, find a tape that has space, and, okay, now I gotta find it. No.
That's how crazy it is. I mean, there's videos now of kids that don't even know what a fucking cassette is. And that's ours. It's still a leftover of, that's the way we used to do it. We had no choice.
No, exactly.
Crazy. You
know, and if you go back before us, reel to reel.
Yeah.
They used to have reel to reel. I know, I've heard the interviews with the Beatles saying, they used to have the reel to reel that they would record their demos on.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not just a preamp, it's the fucking actual recording medium. Yeah.
the famous story with which song is it? Rain. You ever hear the song Rain from them? It's a B-side to Paperback Writer, I believe it is.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the last verse, it's backwards.
Oh,
the verse is all backwards. And this happened because John was stoned. He put the reel-to-reel the wrong way, and he heard it backwards. We're doing that. That's how it happened. Swear to
I
God.
fucking love it. I love it.
You know,
Very
he's
cool.
out of his mind. And oh, okay.
Fucking hilarious.
And
But that's fun shit, man. That's fun shit.
that's the discovery, right? There's again, this is all Revolver. What's that song? Na, 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 na. George does backward guitar, but he literally, he wrote it out. He played it forward, thinking what he wanted to hear backward, and he wrote it out. And then they recorded it and played it. Like that's
fucking cool.
That's
There's stuff like I don't know if it's Bowie or who, but there's a song that they do. There's a long hallway, whatever studio they're at, and they put the speaker way at the one end, and they put the mic like it's a 20-foot, fucking 30, 40-foot long hallway to get a weird reverb effect. You know, it's fucking it's crazy. It's fun.
Well, you remember we did it.
Yeah, no, we did fucking around. We had so many crazy ideas, and like with ADAT, like with fucking ADAT. I mean, there's no digital.
With your vocals, I made you go sing in the stairwell.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember?
Yeah, I do remember. And that shit is fucking, it's fun because then, like, I mean, Jim, who's never used the DAW, can, ooh, what's that? Ooh, he'll click on something and, wow, cool. And it's just, I never would, and then he's fucking playing with it, but it's recording, its tape is on, you know? That kind of shit, I think it's going to be fun.
Even with him, just having the iPhone and I'm telling him, record.
Yeah.
Like he says, he's recorded like 20 things, but he hasn't posted it. But at least he's getting there. He's getting into that, you know?
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're going to
Finally.
have this fucking workflow figured out in no time.
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling come the end of summer, we'd be rolling.
I think so. And then there's another thing that I didn't bring up with the boys is that we originally talked, now that we've got our technology sort of sorted out, I would say we're 80% figured out. There's one thing that is still, I think, a very attractive thing for me is the whiskey songwriting, you know, like actually getting together, whether it's 2, 3, or all 4, to really just, you know, drink and experiment and fucking
bring the acoustic guitars and just hang around.
Exactly, with a djembe or whatever, just to keep it low. Or
he's still waiting.
There you go. There it is. The magic elixir. The magic elixir. That kind of stuff is so fucking cool to think about doing. And of course, with my new setup, there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, more than once a decade.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
We're not going to shy away from the whole idea of not having to travel from the fucking Eastern Townships, but every once in a while, there's going to be 4 studios. Once Jim gets his thing sorted out, we're going to have 4 studios to let's visit. So every quarter, you know, we could do it 4 times a year.
Sure, but I mean, we could do one sooner just to do one for other reasons.
Yeah, sure. True story. True story.
One last technical question.
Yeah.
How do you want to handle doing backups now with this?
It's easy. It's easy. So the Band Lab stage is the 5 prime tracks. It's really the primary colors of every song. Drums, bass, rhythm, lead, vocal. That's it. Then, I didn't get into it too much with the boys there, but when we're sending you raw tracks, and you're posting previews just to entice us. So Lady in the Den version 1 from Enzo, pre-production, sounds fucking tight. The drums are awesome. The fucking rhythm is awesome. The vocals couldn't be better. Like what? Well, wait, there's more. Somebody decides to add in, I'm talking production quality tracks.
Yeah.
Percussion. And I'm not talking about djembes. I'm talking about banging on your head. a backup vocal that only appears once in the entire song, you know, like, or a fucking sound effect, or like we I'm saying you and I are gonna introduce, and Steve is gonna be big on this. I know he's got a fucking repertoire of music in his head that he doesn't need.
No, he's putting that keyboard. He has that fucking keyboard. He wants to Coldplay us everywhere, and I'm like, oh, Jesus.
We're gonna come. I got you know, I got the fucking big meaty keyboard. I could propose things, you know, in public to you guys all, or just to you, and say, production to me is, it's the idea of keep them wanting more, where you do something once in a song and never in the first verse, but always second or third, or they're in the chorus. What was that? What was that sound? And you never hear it again. Or a lead that only happens once. That is, we could spend years on that.
Yeah, I know.
At some point, it never gets any better. We know it's final and it's done. But, like, we're not in a rush because the ADAT has to go back to the fucking rental company in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We can do whatever the fuck we want. And we release it when we're ready. So, backup vocals, anybody can do a backup vocal as far as I'm concerned.
No, but wait. What I meant was this.
What?
There's some songs where you're going to be backing yourself up, obviously. A lot of them, most of them. But there's some where if we force it, the rest of us could do it. But still, you have to write the backup vocal for them. But we can use like a guide of your backup vocal for, you know, we could
totally sing along with this.
It's like Here and Now. You left the spaces for the backup.
Yeah.
But I think it should be that. You see, that's going to get hard. If we try to do like harmonies, like what I tried to do with, I didn't put them in the guide, but what I redid with Here and Now is I tried to do a harmony with Jim, so it would sound more full and better.
Sunshine.
Yeah, and I'm doing Sunshine. So he's doing the high, I'm doing the low. It's 4 notes off, whatever in the scale, but it sounds like a chord. But that's what I mean, because we can have fun with that, man. We can really have fun with that. I mean, not to go, but
chords to me.
You said
vocal chords. Vocal chords are very important. I'm not talking vocal chords, but vocal backup chord structures. I won't say they're important, like they have to be done this. No, you fuck around with it. Yeah. But I did one today on the track that I recorded, my own thing, which I can't wait to. I couldn't do it from the iPad. I'll do it later, okay? But there's a chord. You know, I have fucked up open string chords that I've pissed off many people in my life, and I don't care. I love them, and so I have a hard time singing my. I know 1-3-5. That's the basics of backup. You got the root. I sing the fifth, and then I have a hard time finding the third. And what I realized, you can sing any note.
Yeah.
It depends on when you introduce it. So, as you know very well, the root of your chord that you're playing is so important, because with the note that you hear first when you're strumming, boom, 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 whatever it's a 13th, it's an augmented ninth, whatever. The root, boom, focuses the ears. Anybody, trained or not, stupid, completely tone deaf, whatever, they hear the root, they know it's going to sound right if they hear this note or that note next. So circle of fifths, all that shit. And so today, I'm like, the first time ever, and I was so excited to have Cakewalk, it brought me to the next level with my vocals. I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this, because I picked a song that was really hard for me to play and sing, and it's a very vocal song, and I sang a 5-part harmony with a chord that goes, it's the first, it's the root and the fifth, and I do the 7th, 8th, and the 6th, 7th, and 9th, or whatever, and it worked. It worked.
Wow!
Right on. Now, so because I knew I had to be confident, and the only thing that matters when you're doing backup vocals is confidence. So it's taken me decades to get the confidence to do this kind of a harmony because I don't have pitch perfect ears. I need to practice.
So never mind. You're fucking the best one out of the whole lot of us. Are you kidding?
But Jim's not gonna be able to exercise that confidence until you guys practice for years. You're not going to be able to exercise that confidence. So in the meantime, to do it like tomorrow, if we had to, what I'm suggesting is I will write the thing. You got to share the idea. Say, Paul, I want to do this. All right, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out the note or notes, and I'll write it. And whether it's on the keyboard or with my voice or whatever, and if you sing it and it's off, we pitch correct it. That's it.
We'll keep doing it to get it right.
Because I think it's cool to have you guys sing that shit.
Yeah.
And if you want it to be the caliber that we're creating right now for drums and guitars and bass is big. It's big. It's the best we've ever done. We've never done this before.
No, exactly.
So we need to do the same thing with the vocals too, man. Don't be shy to pitch correct the vocals.
But that's why I brought it up, because right now it's you and me, and I know we're ahead of ourselves. But I just want to make you feel
we're already released. We're already world famous. What are you talking about? I know.
No, but you know why? Because I wanted you to feel at ease that, write the backups for us. Don't worry about that. Do it. Fuck. Don't wait for, us clod hoppers to do it. Because even as goofy as Here and Now is, it's fun to hear everybody. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I love about it. I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Where it works. Like, even in Mobile Man, I laugh. I always laugh at that fucking backup. I love it. I'm a mobile.
It's fucking great. Sometimes it's best to have the natural voice.
The monotone.
Doing 180 all the way. Okay, that's fine. Fuck. Can't ask for better than that. Cups on my tail. Like, you don't need to worry about that. That's perfect. But if it's a sunshine and you want to do sunshine, okay, sure, I'll sing it. But I don't want to sing all of it. I'm going to sing a lot. But when it's time, we just need to be all honest and say, Paul, shut up. We're not going to do the fourth harmony on this. Fucking Jim's doing it. Enz is doing it. Steve's doing it. Okay, perfect. Here's the note. Sing the best that you can, and if it's off, pitch correct. You know how it works. You can pitch correct a piece or whatever, and that's it.
But yeah, we'll have fun with that. That's why I wanted you to be aware that don't worry about that. Fucking go for it, and we'll figure it out.
I learned from this jazz guy that I'm a huge fan of. His name is Anyway, I post about him on Tebow Music. Fuck. Anyway, I can't remember his name. He is this prodigy. He's a musical jazz prodigy. He plays every fucking instrument. He's an amazing keyboardist, but he plays everything. Okay. You name it,
one of those, like a prince. Okay.
Blows my mind. Blows my fucking mind. It's absolutely obtuse to think of how someone could be so talented. And his first video that I ever saw of him as a kid was him doing, 18-part harmonies. It's like, 18 pictures of him on the screen. But it's jazz. He's redoing a Michael Jackson song in his own version or whatever, So when I saw that, I realized, like, fuck, it's confidence. You got to be confident. He doesn't need to pitch correct. But when you do hit the harmony right on or pitch correct it so that it's right on, it sounds amazing. Think Eagles. That's why I love the Eagles, because 4 or 5-part harmonies don't sound good unless they're perfect. And so we don't have 5 pitch perfect harmonies in this band. And even me, I can't do it. I can do the second without any assistance. The third, I need some help. I need to play the note first and okay, got it. Record quick.
Actually,
then it comes out. That's it. So we'll figure it out. It's going to be fun. It's like writing mods. When you write chorus, when you write choral lines, that's what they do. The arrangers, they write the parts. The singers don't fucking think about the notes. They're making this shit up. You got a 30 fucking person choir. These 4 sing that. You got 2 baritone sections singing it. It's written. It's all it is.
Going on riff, there's something you should go check out. I don't know, maybe you know them already. There's a band I used to listen to a lot called Medieval Babes. Okay?
I don't know them, but I like the sound of it already.
five or seven chicks, and they're all singing that style of music, but they're all in fucking harmonies, and it's mind-blowing.
Medieval Babes.
Medieval Babes, yeah. You gotta look for that.
Cool.
What's the name of the song? Is it oh fuck, one of my favorites was and they sing in Old English and old
oh, cool. In Gaelic?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Fuck, what's that
Viking?
song? Ashes to Ashes? No, it's not Ashes. Is it Ashes? Oh fuck. Hey, Paul, for harmony stuff, you listen to them and you're like, yeah, okay, we know the Beatles, we know the Eagles, we know Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Listen to this. Holy fuck.
Wow, there's a bunch of them. There's 8.
There's 8, eh? Okay, yeah. Call up a song for me. See if I can.
So let's see. Music. Well, that's the ones.
Yeah, that's the ladies. Yeah.
All right. So
you have a song listing.
Fine. Do we use cookies? Sure, you can use cookies. No problem. Music. Wow, I like it. Okay, there's 7 in this album here. So, Old Lang Syne of Kings and Angels. Oh, these are album names. Sorry, albums. They don't have song listings.
Ugh. You can't get a fucking video with a song for fuck's sake.
So, Victoriana. Old Lang Syne of Kings and Angels. Devotion, The Huntress, Temptation, Illumination, Mirabilis, Mistletoe and Wine, The Rose, Undertide, Worldless Bliss, that looks like it's Gaelic, Salva Nos of Kings and Angels. So very cool. They got a very specific theme. That's a band that knows what they're doing. They got into a
probably
niche.
Their newest album.
So
I've been to them for like 15 years.
Victoriana, I'm just going to click on their latest.
Yeah, click on them and see what it's. I'm interested to hear their new stuff.
So it's getting there. Okay, open up iTunes. Fuck, I hate iTunes. God damn it. Fucking iTunes. Welcome to the iTunes Store. Hello. Item not available. Okay, it's not happening. I have to do it on the laptop.
Check it out.
Medieval Babes. I'm gonna fucking check them out.
Check it out. You're gonna trip. You are gonna trip because the way they do it and they interweave, and they do a lot of because they're all accomplished lead singers too, right? It's not just backup.
Right. Harder to sing backup than it is to sing lead. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. You know, that was George Harrison's beauty. Listen to all the backups; it's all him, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's cool is I know that there's a technical phrase for it. You know when you sing a lead and somebody interweaves the other part of a lead over it, and it's not a harmony, but it's like another melody going. Yeah. So it's not really a backup. It's
what you're getting into at that point is you're getting into what every single composer ever had to contend with when they wrote classical music. That's exactly what it is, because you're creating. Just start with strings. You've got violins, just violins, not viola, not cello, violins, and there's a 3-part harmony going on there, and they're all playing one note. Like the 2 of them are playing this note, 3 of them are playing that note, but you want to reinforce the root, so the 5 of them are playing that note. That's just the violins. You got fucking trumpets and French horns and timpani that is on a note. Fuck off in the craziest sense. This is exactly. I mean, come up with a 2-part harmony. No problem. We have the ability. We just have never experimented with it, and that's the fun part. You're doing it every day when you write chord sends. You're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
You're just not doing it with voices. You're doing it with strings. That's it.
Yeah. But you know, for me, when I listen to classical, be it old classical or today it's movie scores, I guess. You would go that
Right.
way.
Right.
Like a guy like John Williams, it just blows my mind. That stuff blows my mind. I
Yeah.
can listen to this all fucking day long. That's a fucking musician.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But fuck. How do you come
Yeah.
the little
They've been also practicing their craft for so long. That's the thing.
yeah.
Who am I gotta find you the name. I want you to check this guy out, man.
The jazz guy?
crazy. Yeah, you gotta check this guy out. T-Bone Music. Come on. I want to say Jason, but you know what? I'm going to look on my T-Bone Music page because I've posted about him before. Just, you got to write the name down. Like if it's the last thing I send you home with tonight, man, you just got to check this out.
I'll check it out right after.
Because he doesn't have many videos. That's the thing. He as a young kid, he wrote a few.
But he's
did a few
current now?
videos. I'm sorry.
He's current now. He's out there now.
He's in fucking huge demand in
Oh,
the most obscure circles because he's not a popular musician. He's just a brilliant musical mind. Absolutely one of the most brilliant musicians you'll ever fucking encounter. And I'm gonna find you the name, and then I'll let you off the hook.
Yeah, I'll go check it out. You go check out the babes.
Yeah, I'm gonna earphone those suckers before I hit the sack. Okay,
I should get you the name.
here we go. Jacob Collier. Jacob,
I know this-
Jacob
I know this guy.
Collier, Collier.
Okay.
Jacob Collier. This is the fucking most brilliant musician that I've ever encountered or come across. And he farts, and it's a 6-part chord. It's crazy. Just unbelievable. It blows my mind that someone could be so pitch perfect. And what he does is, as an example of the kind of thing that he does, is that he has this thing online called "I harm you." I harmonize with you, but I harm you. Like So someone, you'll go, hey, whoa, yeah. And then there's you in the middle frame. And he's got boop, 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 3 of him on this side and boop, 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 3 on him on that side. And he's harmonizing with you, 6-part harmony, or playing a fucking weird, the fucking kettle bottom guitar. Blip, 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 blip. And he's fucking he did it on his phone. He's just fucking around. Boom, done. In 5 minutes, he sent the track back. He harmonized with you, and he encadré this incredible talent. Amazing.
There's people that have those perfect pitch and the ears.
Yeah.
I want to kill them. I want to kill them. For me, it's so agonizing to pick out a note,
But this Jacob Collier guy is going to be the one that you're going to hear about in 10, 15 years from now, who is going to be the most prominent musical, artistic person in the planet. But right now, he's just this kid fucking around with music like it's just a toy, and he could lasso a fucking, a cow at 100 yards because he's just decided to do it. He didn't, I don't know if he fucking fell in love or not, or if he's had his heart broken, but the guy is going to be amazing.
Well, Paul, in our circles, guitar circles, right? Okay, rock guys. Steve Vai was rumored or has been said that he can transcribe, not just play, he can transcribe screeching car tires. How the fuck?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Jacob Collier. I got it.
Jacob Collier. Check out a few of his earliest videos, and you'll see there's only half a dozen of them when he really started out, and you're gonna see, that's funny. Well, that's holy fuck. And then there's no videos for a long time, and then he's with Herbie Hancock, and then some other guy. And they saw him and
well, that's like Child Prodigy. That's like what's his face? Trucks.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Craziness. And all I got is this. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Go get out of your truck. Go get some rest, because hopefully Steve will bust your chops.
Thanks for putting up with me, amigo. I appreciate everything you do, man. It's a fucking pleasure to work with you. Been a long time.
Oh, we're gonna make up for the next years.
True story. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train.
No. Alrighty, get out of there.
Good night.
Good night.
Cheers, buddy. A bientôt.
Ciao.